Okay, okay. Popping, what's popping? What's popping? Everybody, welcome back to Uncle Mo TV. Glad that you here. You could be anywhere else, but you here with me, so I appreciate that. Clear that chat so I can see what's up. As y'all can see, we gonna talk about Roland Martin and King Randall. Heated debate. This is a oldie but goodie. I just seen this, caught my attention. I was doing a video about Umar Johnson's school, and I came across this because I wanted to show how Umar Johnson, which that video is coming out soon, how King Randall's everything that Umar Johnson wish he could be if he actually gave a care about the children, as he say. I don't know if my audio is good. Drop a 1 in the comments to let me know if y'all can hear me loud and clear. And if y'all ready to start this thing. How we looking? Ain't nothing in the comments, so I guess y'all can't hear me. Audio look like it's going. See. So since y'all ain't helping me out here. Testing. 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. All right, yeah, I can hear. Let's go. Let's start this up, man. We're gonna hit play, man. More people come in, they get this engagement going.
You guys' fight. First of all, there are multiple fights, there are multiple issues we could be concerned about.
Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay, so when you say you guys' fight, first of all, there are multiple fights, there are multiple issues we could be concerned about. Voting is one of those issues. Are you not concerned that Republicans in your state are trying to restrict access to the ballot for no reason other than they are pushing the lie that Donald Trump also pushed?
Right, absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying. However, again, that's not my fight. I believe.
No. I asked you a question. And the question is this here. Do you believe Republicans in your state are wrong to be pushing this voter suppression bill?
Can you give me the list of things that's all on the bill? Because I know you said the voter ID.
Well, no. Here's a perfect example. This particular bill right here gets rid of no excuse absentee balloting. Republicans in Georgia passed no excuse absentee balloting 15 years ago, thinking it was going to help them. They're angry because you had people who voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and also John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won. So they're changing the law because they're angry they lost at the ballot box. But for 14 years, it was fine until last year. Is that, again, do you consider that to be egregious on the part of Georgia Republicans? Why would they change the law because they lost? How about making a better argument for the voters?
I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. I'm not against you there. I definitely think that is an issue that I believe you guys could fight. But that, again, voting is not my issue to fight. I believe.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be all end all.
No one says the be all the end all, but it's a.
I gotta agree with him right there. Is that He actually got a school. He got a program called the School for X down in Albany, Georgia, if I'm mistaken. And he's actually teaching them life skills, stuff that you actually need in your day to day and stuff. And Roland Martin, it all came out after the election that they was paying him. The Democratic Party was paying him the whole time. They put hundreds of thousands of dollars into his pocket to push their agenda to help with their campaigning. So real people that got the boots on the ground, he's trying to come at them because he's not going with them. He's not feeling the whole we need to wait for a savior. He feel like we could do it ourselves. Let's hear him out.
Part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just gonna change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're going to go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's going to change in our community.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say,
so you see how he tried to gaslight him. He said his whole goal is to stop children from going through the system, from getting in trouble, for getting locked up. That's his goal, is to stop them from going through the system. So if he's trying to save the children, right? Why wouldn't he go to the courts and try to get them out of the court system and help rehabilitate them and actually give them some rehabilitation? Like Roland Martin is disingenuous with that, but let's hear him out with his BS.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say purchased a school, and this school is going to be what? Private school, charter school? What kind of school is it going to be?
No, it will be independently owned. This will not be funded by the government.
No, that's why I asked you. So it's going to be a private school?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a boarding school.
A boarding school. And then for the folks to be able to afford to send their kids to the boarding school, what kind of mechanisms are they using in Georgia? Their own funds? Are they using school vouchers? What are they using?
I can't hear you. Say that again for me.
I said, what mechanism are they using to send their kids there to pay for the school? Their own money, or are they utilizing vouchers from the Georgia government?
Absolutely. So for our school, we're financed completely by donors. We have many donors that have given yearly endowments to our school that will be able to pay for these students to come to our school for free. Many people believe in our mission, and we're making sure that young black men, where we live, where we don't have any rehab programs for juvenile offenders to even get out of jail and stay out of jail, we have people that believe in our mission that are trying to send children to the Expo Boys for free. We have many people that are trying to send kids to this boarding school to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I mean by doing for self. We got to simply get up and do it.
So you don't believe that government policymakers play any role whatsoever in being able to impact the lives of black boys and others in Georgia?
If we take them out of that government system, we don't have to worry about that. I keep saying,
how is that? So no, hold on. So here's the question. Hold up. Here's the question. How do you remove someone out of a government system when we all live in government systems?
Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay. So when you say,
You see how he's trying to be disingenuous with the young man. Like, we know, I think at a minimum, when he was getting paid by the Democratic Party, it was at least what I think they said like 400,000 or something like that they gave him to let them do the interviews and go through. He got fired from TV One, or was it TV One? Whatever. Because TV One I think is his joint that he had now. But he got fired the last time because he was giving the debate questions ahead of time to Hillary. All right. We know Roland Martin is disingenuous and he's not really trying to look out for the community. He's trying to look out for lining his pockets. And I think that shit is very sad that this middle-aged, high-calorie man didn't want to give to the young brother and trying to discourage him that's actually going out there and trying to save the youth and stop them from being repeat offenders. He's too busy trying to break them down. And I understand what he's trying to say. He's trying to say, hey, of course we live in a government system. We're in America, but we can help all the stuff that's in our control. Let's control it. And we can save our kids. We can save our children. We don't have to wait for somebody to come save us when we can do it ourselves. And he's 21 years old. He's at this time, I think he's like 24, 25 now, but he was a child at the time, a young adult at the time, who went and purchased a school, purchased land, purchased a school bus. And then you got people like Roland Martin with all these degrees. You got people like Umar Johnson with all these degrees that have been robbing the community for millions of dollars. They're not holding them accountable. They don't care about that. They just want to hold one of the few young men that's out there that's doing something. He's not in the street. He's going against the stereotypes. Me personally, I wouldn't give a damn if he was a conservative, whatever. I respect that he's actually putting in work to try to help and make a change. We're going to go to the next video. Let me cue that up. That off a second, just so that we don't get the wrong thing don't pop up on the screen while we go into the next one.
So when we talk about, do you believe in the power?
I'm voting for Kamala Harris for president. Now that I have your attention, that same energy you got for somebody who's voting for Donald Trump, you can go put it in your local community. You don't know your city councilman. You don't even know what ward or district you stay in. I'm voting for Kamala Harris.
Main joint that got me on it. He came at him. Now this is what made me wanna actually talk about him, because that's when you realize these old fake coons, they sit there and the old system that want to keep us oppressed, but they act like they helping us. How this young man does his thing and comes up with solutions while they just want to talk about problems all day and make us scared. And if we ain't how can I put it? They want us so scared about like the Republicans and this and that. I don't care for none of them. I don't have no political ties. Let's hear it, man.
Y'all, so I was on Instagram a little bit earlier and I came across this video. And then I watched this video and I said, I know I am not seeing what I'm seeing. So I need you to play the video I saw on Instagram. I need you to, y'all don't have the video? I sent you the link to, okay, all right, let me play the video myself. Because y'all, I saw this video, when I say I was hot, when I saw it, I said, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This nonsense that I'm seeing from this person right here. Posting on
all this extra energy he got for this young man, but he never take it to go to Planet Fitness. You notice that? His fat ass never go to Planet Fitness or some type of gym or go do 10,000 steps where he could argue with a goddamn 22-year-old, 23-year-old.
Instagram. And I'm like, I know that is not who I think it is posting what he just posted. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, that is him. I can't believe he posted that video. So let me go ahead and show y'all this because I want y'all gonna trip. Y'all gonna trip. Watch this video.
Is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus, and 19% of those students are labeled as homeless. We have a little over 250 jobs that'll be leaving the city of Albany. And while this is not the city of Albany government's fault, this is a time for our local and state leadership to step up, because we'd be stupid to act powerless in this situation. Because while this school is still here, while this building is still here, while this campus is still here, what could this become? Could this become a Southwest Georgia regional hub for trade skills training? Could this become something major that the city brings on to start training workforce? Because if we're training workforce, then we can invite industry to come here. But if we don't have any workforce for industry, they'll never come. But if Doherty County school system could train workforce in adults, why can't the city of Albany do the same thing? So my question to leadership is, are we going to allow this opportunity now to pass us by? Or are we going to lead? Are our leaders going to lead? And if they don't want to lead, they need to step aside and let somebody else do it.
Oh, he said that if our leaders are not going to lead, they should step aside and let somebody else do it. That's interesting. Now, when I saw it, I remember when he came on this show after he was going at me on Twitter when he was supporting the Republicans in Georgia voter suppression bill, and he was talking shit with another black conservative. Then they say, well, he ain't gonna never put us on the show. And I invited his ass on the show. Then he tried to change his tune when he came on the show. Roll it. Joining us right now is King Randall, one founder of the X for Boys organization based out of Georgia. So, King, explain why in the world you're conservative, correct?
Yes, sir.
So please explain to me why this bill, why Republicans are pushing for a voter suppression bill when last year. All right, y'all. So I was on Instagram.
You know, it's crazy to see this old high-calorie man rooting for this young boy to fail when, as I go through the comments on this video, and somebody asked a real question, what has Roland Martin done for any young kids? Absolutely nothing. Another lady, Smiley. That's right, Randall. Help make things happen in the community. Somebody said Roland's going to hold you accountable. They say you need to hold yourself accountable instead of picking on a young man who is helping young men in his political party constantly annoyed. So in other words, how are you bashing this young man for trying to clean up his community and trying to provide for his community while the Democratic Party doesn't do anything for the community? One guy says it best. So let me get this right. Here's a young black man trying to invest into our youth with little to no help. And here you are taking things personal because you have a different political view. We all should stand behind him and provide different resources from our community to build him up, not bring him down. We have let voting Democrat divide us and other people. Help this young man help other young people. I agree with him, bro. We letting political views divide this whole country. It don't even matter if you're the black community, white community, or in between. We are letting simple political views, or my opinion, differ from your opinion, and we're letting it divide us, and we're letting us make us feel that we're less than, you know, when we all need to just take a second back, see the situation that we're dealing with right now as a whole in this country, and try to unify by the best means we can. But it's crazy to see somebody like Roland Martin find pleasure in tearing down a part of the black community, but then he'll scream that he's for the black community and this and that, but he always take pleasure in them I told you so moments or wanting to see failure within our community. You always see him do that shit, that he always act like he's for us, and then you find out later that the agenda that he was pushing, he was getting paid to do it. And then he gonna sit there and gaslight you like all these other companies just taking money. We don't want to hear that. If you believe in a candidate, they don't gotta pay for your beliefs. You should be contributing to them because you believe in it.
I'm voting for Kamala Harris for president. Now that I have your attention, that same energy you got for somebody who's voting for Donald Trump, you can go put it in your local community. You don't know your city councilman. You don't even know what ward or district you stay in, but they got you so hyped up about the presidency, and they do this every year strategically to keep you distracted from what's really going on. Your local politicians know you don't care nothing about what they're doing, and that's what affects your everyday life. Stop being so caught up behind this dang on presidential election and focus on your local politics. It's kids that can't read. It's people that need help. It's local boards that you could get on to affect your everyday life. It's you can go visit your city commission meeting, your county commission meeting, and go to your board of education and see what's going on. Most of their meetings are public and you have no clue about it. Go figure out who your superintendent is. Go figure out who your county commissioner.
That's a good point too, man. Most people don't understand that their local government dictate a lot of their everyday life. And the only time they want to vote is every 4 years instead of going out in their community and demanding change and demanding their political representatives to actually stand up and do their damn job. Because the only time you see them is when it's time for elections.
Or your county chairman. Go figure all that out before you worried about disfriending your friends and letting go of your family members because of the dang on presidential election. Focus on self. Do for self. Do for your own community and stop waiting on the president to do something for you that you could do for yourself. I'm voting for Kamala Harris for president.
Do you believe in the power of voting? Do you think it's not important?
I believe it's important. I believe it's a tactic, but as far as it changing anything like major in our communities, absolutely not. There's no one piece of legislation, paper, or anything that a law or
I disagree with that. I believe that legislation and laws change everything. We wouldn't even have the Civil Rights Act if we didn't get out there and vote and demand that we get the civil liberties. So, I mean, I do disagree with that. I feel that we should go out and vote, and we should. But I feel we need to hold our vote hostage, and we need to actually get these politicians, these fake ass community leaders and all of them to stand up and actually demand some tangibles for our doggone vote, you know? That's what I believe in.
Vote has done to change anything major in our communities. Actually,
What's up, my guy?
absolutely. Our
Civil Rights
communities.
Act?
Oh,
Voting Rights Act. Affirmative action.
I don't care about no representation. Go look at our communities. I don't care about being represented in government. I don't care how many black faces you put in a high place. It's still owned by those same people who want to keep us down. So I don't care about those black faces in high places. If we don't own those high places or run those high places, I don't care who's in there. I don't care about representation. That means nothing to me. I believe in the things that we own. We can have a whole black school board, but who owns that school board?
What up?
So I'm just like, we have to.
What up, Dominique? Appreciate you tuning in, my brother.
Create our own systems, create our own banks, hospitals, etc.
Do you believe in the power of voting? Do you think it's not important?
I believe it's important. I believe it's
Yeah, man. Roland Martin, I noticed that, man, especially after that last election and we found out that he was on the take and he was getting paid for all this stuff, that I realized he wasn't for us. He was for lining his pockets. And he just want everybody to vote Democrat. I feel, personally, we need to get rid of both of the political parties and start fresh. Start fresh. And like, I'm an independent, and I noticed that they make it so hard for anybody else to get on the ballot to give you any options, because a lot of people think that it was only two people in the whole thing. Like Jill Stein was there, a lot of people was fighting, and then it's a reason why they fight so hard to keep other people off the ballot.
So when we talk about
Yes, sir, I vote, absolutely.
Okay, so when you say
my granddad always told me growing up, he always
21-year-old buys 40 acres of land and builds a school for boys. Umar Johnson literally collected millions of dollars and ain't produced nothing but them abandoned fucking buildings. It's not even a school, and this dude is out there actually doing the work, and he did it at 21, and this dude is 50-something and ain't do nothing.
said on some dirt. And so I know a lot of people are always asking, you know, how are you 21 years old and you know so much, or what are you able to teach the boys? And I'm just like, well, when you have male figures in your life, they're able to teach you a lot of these things. Growing up, we've always been taught to like wallow in our defeat, and you know, I can't go do anything, you know, because something's gonna happen to it, or you know, but that's kind of what history has taught some people. But I'm just like, well, why don't you just watch what they were doing and watch their mistakes and not make those? On 40 acres of land I just purchased for my boys in the program, And I know a lot of us, especially in our community, we always heard about that 40 acres and a mule that we've been asking for. Well, I decided to go take it.
Yeah, man. So that's how I even heard about King Randall, is because O'Shea Duke Jackson, I think he did a reaction saying how Umar beated him out of his airfare. He's supposed to come talk to the boys, and he beat him out of his money and beat him out of his airfare, and told him that because he won on what the hell was that? Because he put it on social media and put him out there that he stole from him, that he's not going to pay him all his money when he backed out like the day before or something. But it's just crazy how he did that young man like that instead of working with him, because that could have been an extension. He could have helped, to tell the truth, he could have helped with FDMG, but I know Umar don't like him because he accept donations from everybody. He's not just accepting donations from black people. And he is accept people helping out, volunteering from all across demographics. So, he's more about unity and not division like Umar Johnson, but he went to division so that he don't gotta have accountability. Yeah, man. I remember when DL Hughley went so hard at him, at Ice Cube, for trying to get something for us. And Roland Martin, like I said, he's on the payroll. And the part that killed me with DL Hughley, like, he used to spit some like real stuff, but then you realize that he was full of it. And then when I heard that interview where he was talking about how he had a kid and he was happy when the kid passed away, I can't have respect for nobody like that, man. I can't have no respect for somebody like that when they come like that. And it's crazy because even inside of this shit, that's why I say we need to get rid of all these political parties. Like, even inside of the comments and this, it's people like, oh, he's not a Republican, he just want Republican money. Oh, don't donate to him, we need this. Oh, like, it's so many people that's hating on him, it makes no sense.
Gentlemen, help me welcome Mr. King Randall. My pleasure.
Greetings, everyone.
Oh, yeah, I see. He showed you your
Randall
donations.
First, the founder of the Extra Boys program and a proud student from the Inside Out School of Etiquette public speaking class. During my sessions, I will make every effort to overcome the fear and intimidation because I am good enough and I believe in myself. I will not be intimidated by any audience member because they are no better than I am or more deserving to be in this room. Therefore, I will shine and deliver my speech with confidence. I now believe I have the confidence to deliver a speech with ease while demonstrating the protocols learned. I am grateful for this opportunity to develop my public speaking skills. Again, I am King Randall. Thank you so much for your attention.
Gentlemen, help me welcome.
Bruh, is Roland Martin okay? If y'all remember a few years ago when he and King Randall, who's from Albany, Georgia, they got...
That's the thing too. Like, we see King Randall out in the community, and like, if I was starting a school, right? Let's say I was Umar Johnson, right? If I was starting a school, I will take help from every direction that's legal, and I would have no problem being transparent and showing people where the money's going, where it's coming from. Like, I would be completely transparent. Some of the money I would have took and put it into training for the staff that I want to come work at the school. And then it shouldn't even be a mystery if he's qualified or not to, if he got the degrees or he got anything, you know what I mean? Because it should be, especially when he be in there doing all his stupid lives and they say, yo, you're not a doctor. He should be able to just go right over to the side, pick up his degree and be like, yo, blah, 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 here goes my degree. But he can't do that because I don't think he got one. I think he might got a bachelor's and all that joint, maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's true if he got it or not. I can't call it, man. I know I looked up if he was a principal, and I couldn't find anywhere where he was a principal at. Not one. I could not find not one. Yeah, I couldn't find nowhere that said he was a principal. And I was searching like hell the other day. Should have been working, but I was searching. That's like if somebody be like, Uncle Mo, you ain't got a degree. It should be as simple. If you at home and you've seen, it should be as simple as this. I cover my government, but you should be able to just go right there and pull it up, you know? And it should say, you know, I got my joint, what? Supervision and management. I got my joint, you know? And I'm working on my organizational leadership degree, but it should be as simple as that. He's some most requested scholar, and all these people is asking for him, but it's crazy a dude that's like, shit. Yeah, half his age is doing more than he ever did for anybody. Let me get some of these chats up here. Boom, what's up? Welcome to the tribe. Yeah. Yeah, but he's not transparent on. Like I seen recently, before the school year started, people donated book bags and stuff, and he went live and showed him packing it up, and even the extra supplies he got, like toiletries and stuff, he sent it home to their parents. And I see him actually teaching the young women and the young boys on how to do regular life stuff, change brakes, change oil, build walls, electricity, like electrical work, like actually giving back to the community and trying to be the change that we all cry for, instead of, you know, just talking about some shit, you know? What's up, sir? I'm here in Albany. I want to remind everybody that was in Florida. It was one person who helped the military promotions because he got all up in his... Oh, that's who held up the military? Well, I will say this. I don't know about every branch, but I know in the Navy, the daggone, they said because of the government shutdown, the promotions didn't come out. The results ain't come out for the Navy because of the government shutdown. Now, how true that is, I don't know. But that's what they put out to us, because it would have came out Thanksgiving week, the latest, and it still ain't out. Let me see. Nice to get rid of something. Yeah, man. I've been meaning to go live for a long time, man. I went live the other night, but I went real late. Yeah, but I searched everywhere to see where Umar Johnson was a doggone school principal, because I don't think he ever was a school principal. I think he just talking out his ass. I don't think he was a school principal at all. And then, like you said, this right here stands out the most, Dominic. Why don't he do any giveaways? Remember he did that whole speech about he ain't gonna be able to psychologize everybody, that some people got to be put to sleep for good. I seen more of the thugs that he talk crazy about. I seen more of them give back to the community, do book bag drives, give away food than he give. And it's so crazy because all the money that he get in donations, he wouldn't even feel it if he was to like give back to the community for that. And then that would drive more people that want to come help out there. Like when I tell you, when I've been to that school, the people in the neighborhood seem nice, you know. It's in the hood, but it's like a block over from the hood, and like it's its own little entity by itself. But it ain't like how he made it seem, you know. Yeah, man. Like everybody gives back to the community, but him, man. Here we go. Let's start here.
Into a discussion on this show when King Randall, he was known as a young black Republican, but he was saying he wanted to build a school for children. He wanted to become self-sufficient, and he wasn't worried about or waiting on the government to do anything for him when he can get out here and help his people himself. And Roland Martin was just telling him that he's too optimistic, he's aiming too high, and what he's doing is ridiculous, and all this other nonsense. It was nonsense then, a couple years ago, but ever since then, King Randall has opened the school. He does run programs in his hometown for young men. He coaches up his son's baseball team. He's done so much for his community. And also, just recently, due to Trump's administration, whatever they're doing with Job Corps, King Randall posted a video saying that it's not due to his state and local government of why Job Corps is shutting down, but now's the time to band together with state and local government to do something about it. So if the Job Corps isn't going to be around, let's find more programs to help our young adults or our young children. Let's band together and figure out ways to get them working, to get them more educated, whether it be education directly or in trade school. He was just saying now it's time to hunker down, band together, and really figure things out. Roland Martin saw that and said, why didn't you mention President Donald Trump by name in the video? He didn't acknowledge that that young man is doing things in his neighborhood and in his community. He didn't acknowledge that he's willing to do the work. He didn't acknowledge that yet local and state governments do still exist that can make more of an impact in their community than the federal government. And if the federal government is going to make this decision, what do you want them to do? Just lay over and cry? It was, again, one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Somebody is taking, not accountability, but they're taking life by their own hands and saying that we need to band together as a community. And you just say, you didn't say Trump's name. You didn't blame Trump. That wasn't his point. I don't even know if King Randall likes Trump. I don't care. What we do know is King Randall loves his people and loves his community. I respect my elders, but I honestly don't know what Roland Martin was thinking with making that response video on his platform. I just don't know what he was thinking. Bruh,
Roland Martin's always in his emotions, bro. He's always in his emotions. That's the problem. And like, I don't care if you're a Republican, you're a Democrat, you independent, Jewish, you Muslim, you're Christian, you're Baptist. If we're for the community, it's going to take people across all of those barriers to make it better, bro. And like me, I ain't going to lie. I live in a predominantly mixed suburban area, you know? I'm from the hood. I'm from the Bronx. Where I live at now, I live in I'm in the military, so I got everybody lives by me and stuff, and we all chip in, we all look out for each other, and it's crazy how like people like Roland Martin, you have millions and millions of dollars, don't do nothing, but you're gonna knock somebody that's been given they all to put back into their community and stuff. And I'm telling you, I agree with you. The Democrats only show up when they want something for us. Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, I was pissed off when I seen old girl went to the Breakfast Club and she pulled out that hot sauce. So about she walk around with hot sauce in her pocket. I ain't never meet nobody, black or white, walking around with hot sauce in their damn pocket. And as far as Roland Martin being a little sassy, remember he was doing one of them debates and his screen like turned and there was a naked man on there. So fits the description, you know. He actually fit the description, so I went. Yeah, he's definitely bought and paid for. When they showed Kamala all her receipts for everybody she paid, ain't nobody really pushed the agenda that they really cared about her or really wanted her to be the president. Because if she ain't paid them, they wasn't trying to give no support. You know.
What's going on, family? This is King Randall. First of all, I know people have had a lot of questions about the actual school building itself. And what we were planning to do after the vandalism and after the storm came and damaged things. Our local city officials decided to come put us out last year. I told you guys about that. They deemed it unsafe for us to be there, even though, again, things were fine. We have a lot of work that we have to do to this building. We raised almost $1 million the year before the school started. And what we did, you know, with that, we made so much happen. Obviously, you can see the building looks 100% better than it did when we first purchased the location. We still have other projects that we're working on.
I'm telling you, I should have named this video King Randall is everything Umar Johnson is not, because look at that. Umar vandalized his own abandoned building that had his own stuff from his house in it. That, like, first off, Umar the only one in the year 2025 with a big back TV, bro. Like, that shit's probably like 80 pounds by itself. And then he had them whack ass Air Force Ones in there. And it looked like he threw the vent. Like, I've been to the school, so there's no way in hell he was filming outside and didn't see nobody get into that damn raggedy ass abandoned building. So I don't know where and kids is nothing like when you over there, it's no reason like for kids to even play right there. They could play around the corner, they could go up the block. They wouldn't want to play on that dirty ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't believe him with that shit. But this dude's school was vandalized. He raised the money. We could clearly see he put it back into the school. Look at the grounds. The grounds are well kept. Like, and he's half the age of this dude, man. That's what's so crazy. He's half the age and twice the man here. Yeah, remember when Roland Martin was doing that shit? His laptop flipped around and it showed that he did it. That's crazy, man. Umar called the cops on them kids. I'm telling you, I would say they're his kids, but he don't care about his kids.
This is still a priority of ours. Our students are first priority. So we still have our office building location that we work out of. We're doing our book club and our after school program. We're putting basketball goals out there. We're getting painting done, landscaping for our students out on that side of town. But we're also still trying to expand to our south side of town where our 40 acres is and put a recreation center there. But we're also still worried about this location too. We're not losing it. We're not letting it go. This is still our building. This is still something that we're going to work on and something that we're going to use to make sure our students progress in the future. But thanks so much for all your support always. I just want to give you an update that you deserve, of course, to see where your dollars are.
And look at that. He giving you an update that you deserve. And he putting this out to everybody. He ain't say, if you ain't donating, you ain't getting nothing. He putting this out to everybody and letting them know, hey, I am letting y'all know I am transparent. I'm here to let you know this is the school. This is what we trying to do. This is where your money went. That's transparency right there. That's why I said he's half the age of Umar, but twice the man, man. Like, that don't make no doggone sense that he need to mentor Umar. That's what he need to do. He need to mentor Umar because Umar obviously wasn't raised by a strong male. Yeah, Umar wasn't raised by a strong male because Umar, he's a liar. He's a womanizer. He don't care about the black community. Don't let him fool you. This is his hustle. That pro-black shit is a hustle for Umar. He do not care about us. And believe it or not, I think if it ain't blow up with that snow bunny forever for him, he'd be messing with them on the low, man. He probably is already. But he would definitely be out there. That's why if you notice, he be changing his tune with a lot of stuff. Talk about, do they identify as black most of the time? Or like, he be moving the goalposts all around. But he don't got no standards, man. And like, I was watching like an old video popped up when I was doing research from like 6 years ago where what happened to Common Sense pointed out things with Umar, how Umar was going to churches getting cash donations and how he get money from the mailbox that people mail him into.
Well, everybody who just came in, I'm speaking with.
Oh, man. So I did not know that he did, because I'm just going through everything King Randall. I did not know he did something with this guy, which I think he's a fraud too. I think that Boyce Watkins is a fraud too. He do fraudulent behavior, in my opinion. Because if you got a website shit, you don't need 50,000 websites to get your training point. And then all he do is, you could tell he was the dude that got slapped up and put in his locker as a kid because he has a problem with masculine men. Like, he has a very problem, like a big problem. And he makes it like he loves the downfall of other men. And I just hate haters, bro. I hate haters. And that's what he is. He's a hater. But let's hear what he's saying. And I like how the young man is making his rounds and shit. And even with him, to like boost the community, like I will work with him to get the bigger, because I could put that past me my opinions, personal opinions about stuff. But he's a hater, bro, and I don't like a hater. Oh yeah, I heard about the brother offering him deaths and he didn't want to take it.
King Randall, he is the founder of the I want to say it right. The X say it for me so I don't say it wrong.
You good? The X for Boys program.
X for Boys program. Okay, I'm gonna write that down so I don't mess it up. Because I've always said the X School for Boys.
Yep.
And so, so that's not the actual school, everybody. The school is called the Life Preparatory School for Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to learn about that. So tell me about the Life Preparatory School for Boys. What's the purpose?
Sure, absolutely. Well, I'll start with the X for Boys program so people can differentiate. So the X for Boys program was started in 2019 when I was 19 years old. I took 20 young men to the city of Atlanta, Georgia on a field trip there to the Center for African American History and the Center for Civil and Human Rights. I took them there, and the reason I started this organization was because many of the young men in Albany don't have any rehabilitation programs for juvenile offenders. There are no programs here except for online therapy that they only do for 3 months for 1 day a week, and I think that's not going to help with recidivism. I believe they needed more consistency. And that's what I started doing. I started it out of my house. I started teaching them how to work on cars, taught them how to change oil and brakes, taught them how to change ceiling fans and toilets, paint houses, welding, firearms training, how to grow your own food. This is what we did for our first and second year. Then I started housing some of the children at my house. I started boarding some of them and discovering that a lot of them couldn't read and write was where I got the idea to start the school. So in 2 years' time, we've been raising money. We first went viral, and then we started raising money online. And then, we got to buy a resource center, which is where I'm sitting now in my office. And we have 40 acres of land that we.
Yeah, I got to find that interview so I can watch that one. Thanks for give me the company and Jack. I bought this a couple of years ago, man. At least 10 years ago. Probably longer than that because I've been living here for 10. I know I bought it from I think Marshall's or one. TJ Maxx. I know I got it for a good deal when I did get it. I appreciate that, but yeah, let me finish.
Purchased back in May of 2021. That's where we'll teach the boys how to fend, for themselves, grow their own food, live off the land. And then also we purchased our school, our 41,000 square foot school, basketball gym, 25 classrooms, cafeteria, etc. We purchased that back in November. And right now we're in the process of renovations. You can go on my social media pages and see everything that we've been doing as far as renovations. All of our bank statements are online, everything.
That's why Umar don't like him. He gave the blueprint on how to be transparent and what's going on. And he can't help himself because he told him, he's showing you the renovation step by step because he's doing it smart because as he was renovating that school, he was able to teach the kids while they was renovating it, like Habitat for Humanity type stuff. It's programs out there that can help you get the stuff going and shit. And Umar ain't trying to do none of that shit, man. Umar could have laid down the damn floors himself and definitely he could have did a lot of stuff himself and had it going. Uh-oh, my chat box look like he wild. I might have to knock his ass out. Yeah, man. I got my streamer bot is on to help me moderate, but this motherfucker is talking crazy. He done did 80 damn, he done spam the chat his damn self. But yeah.
Need to see from us financially, whatever, everything's there, complete transparency from us so everybody can see everything as far as what we're working on, our Amazon wish list, whatever. That's kind of where we've gone to since November, and we'll be opening September 2020.
All right, well, everybody who just came in, I'm speaking with King Randall.
What I do is I get
Ain't gonna lie, man, that's my spot, bro. That Burlington Coat Factory, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Burlington Coat Factory. I like to go in neighborhoods that's out the way, that's down in the middle of nowhere, because they're gonna have stuff that's still sitting there that nobody don't know. I remember I bought a $600 jacket for Marshalls when when I was stationed in Jersey for $25. And I literally seen that same jacket in New York a couple of hours before. I wound up buying like all of them and then sold them shits online. Like, look at this ceiling tile. Look, yeah, them ceiling tiles been sitting there in that floor for months.
The screws I screwed in here because y'all gonna do this, so pay attention. Y'all gonna screw it in right here. You're gonna screw the bottom in. If you go buy a door somewhere else, you may have to cut it, you may have to saw it, whatever, because every door ain't the same width. You see this right here? Some doors are wider, some doors are taller, some doors are shorter. So before you even go buy a door, you want to go measure it so that way you ain't got to do all that extra work. Somebody come hold the door up. One person want to hold the door up. Somebody else coming. Hey, got to get a drill right here. All right, somebody tall enough come.
He actually teaching the kids in the community how to, like, real life skills on how to do it, real ways to survive and how to take care of themselves. He ain't sitting there talking that Snow Bunny forever, Black Queen. He ain't doing all that trying to feel on our emotions. And he's actually trying to teach life skills to the young men that can help them out. Things that could save them money in the future, and also how to build and give back to the community on their own, how to be their own saviors.
So you got this hole right here. I'm gonna hold it for you for a second. Do not press the button all the way down. You hear me?
Yes, sir.
What I just said back there in the back.
So they're like this?
Yeah, you. Yeah, you.
Accountability.
What I just said. You got one more time. You might as well go on home. Cool? Make sure it's turned going to the right, because righty tighty, lefty loosey, right? All right, so we're gonna push it on this side. All right. Okay, now, all right, so look. All right, so now that you got it in there a little bit, now you can change the pressure. So push it on the screw.
Do it on it.
Hold on, wait. Push it on the screw. I say make sure it's lined up. There you go. All right, now screw it. Go. All right, listen. So hey, look. So I want you to watch what he's doing. So what just happened was he didn't have a little pressure on the screw, right? Yeah. So what he gonna do? He about to say it. So what he gonna do is, if he press this screw down, if he press that button down too hard on that screw, he gonna strip it. What do I mean by stripping the screw?
It ain't gonna screw in no more.
It ain't gonna be able to screw no more. What I do is I get the screws, I screw it in here, because y'all gonna do this, so pay attention. Y'all gonna screw it in.
What's going on, y'all, man? So I recently came across the post from King Randall. He posted on Twitter that his school has been vandalized. This post hurt me because it was done by the people that look like us. He noticed a broken window.
That he is complaining about has been stopped by the Trump Department of Justice. Now, here's what I don't understand. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and play this again. Because, see, I love it when somebody calls out leaders, but they don't really call out the specific leaders who they talking about. So let me just go ahead and play it again, what he had to say, because he was just so incensed that this program was being cut because it was vital to providing jobs for young people. Listen again.
Let's do it. Turner Job Corps is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus, and 19% of those students are labeled as homeless. We have a little over 250 jobs that'll be leaving the city of Albany. And while this is not the city of Albany government's fault, this is time for our local and state leadership to step up, because we'd be stupid.
Hold up. He said it's not the city of Albany's fault, and we will be stupid not to step up and lead. Listen.
It's fault. This is time for our local and state leadership to step up, because we'd be stupid to act powerless in this situation. Because while this school is still here, while this building is still here, while this campus is still here, what could this become? Could this become a Southwest Georgia regional hub for trade skills training? Could this become something major that the city brings on to start training workforce? Because if we're training workforce, then we can invite industry to come here. But if we don't have any workforce for industry, they'll never come. But if Doherty County School System could train workforce in adults, why can't the city of Albany do the same thing? So my question to leadership is, are we going to allow this opportunity now to pass us by, or are we going to lead? Are our leaders going to lead? And if they don't want to lead, they need to step aside and let somebody else do it. Turner Job Corps is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus. And
here we are. He's complaining about losing the jobs. Okay, that's interesting. And then he says, this ain't city and state leaders' fault, which means that it's somebody else's fault. So, King Randall, whose fault is it? Whose fault is it? Who's over that particular program? Who controlled the funding? Who made the decision to shut that particular program down? I would like to know that. So I remember seeing a particular photo on social media. And I remember, and I knew, I said, wait a minute. I remember seeing somebody that he is complaining about has been stopped by the Trump Department of Justice. Now, here's what I don't understand. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and play this again. Because, see, I love it when somebody calls out leaders, but they don't really call out the specific leaders who they talking about. So let me just go ahead and play it again, what he had to say, because he was just so incensed that this program was being cut because it was vital to providing jobs for young people. Listen again.
Let's do it. Turner Job Corps is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus, and 19% of those students are labeled as homeless. We have a little over 250 jobs that'll be leaving the city of Albany. And while this is not the city of Albany government's fault,
the part that killed me, right, is Roland Martin is saying all this stuff, like he is so caught up with Trump and everybody else that he just, no matter what, like you attacking, compared to him, his own children, or somebody that's old enough to be your child, because you are so fed up with Trump. But you ain't get out there. You made enough money that you could have went and got with all the rest of your little bourgeois elites, and y'all could have purchased one of these that they're about to, what, there's nothing there. They could have purchased these spots and build upon them and made something out of them. They could have made studios, they could have made schools, they could have made training. They could have took over the Job Corps shit and privatized it. They was throwing around hundreds of millions of dollars during the campaign trail. They could have took that money and gave it to the community and invest right back into the community if they cared about the community so much. But yet he want to argue with a 24-year-old instead of helping get back to him. You know, they too busy trying to argue instead of that. Yeah, like they talking all that, wait for the government when you could get out there and do it yourself.
We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So, okay, so define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Mm-hmm. Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government.
And I ain't gonna lie, we need more people like that, because Lord knows, like, Dad, I was one of them at-risk youth. I was one of the at-risk youth that was running wild and crazy in these streets, that if I had the right mentorship and stuff, I probably still been bad because I was just a bad kid. But I could have had the opportunities, because even with that, I had opportunities that showed me, that made me want to go to the military and want to do better and stuff. And that's why I do volunteer work, and I help out in my community, and I try to get back to try to, somewhat, stop people from going through the same things that I put myself through by not listening and not behaving. But we see a young brother that didn't have to go down that road and want to stop other people from going down that road. And the only thing he could do is bash him. When he accomplished more at 21 than we got 50-something year olds that's getting millions of dollars of donations. Man.
Government funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black, in America, and I can't.
Look at his stupid face. All our money is going to eating. That's where all our money is going to food. Look at his stupid face. And he's upset. But the young brother's passionate and he's believing what he's actually doing and he's putting action behind his words.
And do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're gonna go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's gonna change in our community.
So you went.
We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So so define do for self.
All right, disclaimer, Dominique. That at Go Get His Music, that's my chat box. So it will ask you questions. I got to change his personality some, so you ain't got to go back and forth. That's my chat box. And if you see him and Lady Luck or somebody, that's me. I'm logged on because that's my phone, you know? But that's my chat box. It's just logged in as my other account. So you ain't got to go back and forth with him. That's Chat GPT going back and forth with you. So if you ask questions, it will answer it. But it's coming from Chat GPT. I said GP. From Chat GPT.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black, in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and...
Okay. As you can see, Roland Martin is very passionate about going back and forth with this young man, you know? For a lot of people that's just tuning in, I appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, double tap your screen. Say what up. I'm on 2 streams, but it's the same get up. It's 74 people in the building, and I only see like 4 likes. But I appreciate if you do it. But yeah, Roland Martin is real sassy, man. But I'm gonna ask my people real fast on, you know, the difference between them two, you know? Let's see. Chat GPT.
Hey, I'm here. Just let me know what you need.
All right, little Mo. Can you please give us like a brief description on King Randall and what has he done for his community?
Absolutely, Uncle Mo. So a quick rundown on King Randall. King Randall is a young community leader based in Albany, Georgia. He founded a program called the Extra Boys, which is essentially a school and mentorship initiative aimed at helping young boys in his community, especially those who are considered at risk. What he's really done is create a space where these kids can learn life skills, things like automotive repair, basic literacy, and even just general self-discipline and leadership. He's all about empowering these young men to break out of cycles of poverty and instability. So in a nutshell, King Randall's really made a name for himself by rolling up his sleeves and directly creating opportunities for kids in his community.
I appreciate that. What has Roland Martin done for the community?
Absolutely. So Roland Martin is pretty well known as a journalist, commentator, and media personality, especially in the African American community. He's hosted and appeared on a ton of shows, but a lot of people know him from News One Now and his current digital show, Roland Martin Unfiltered. What he's really done for the community is provide a platform where issues that matter to Black audiences are front and center. He tackles political topics, social justice issues, and current events that might not get as much coverage in mainstream media. He's also known for advocating for voter education and empowerment, and he's been a big voice in encouraging people to stay informed, interactive, and civic life. In other words, he's used his media presence to uplift, educate, and spark conversation that helps the community stay engaged and informed.
So, Little Mo, long story short, Roland Martin is just a commentator, and King Randall is actually doing the day-to-day work to help his community.
Yeah, you could sum it up that way. Basically, Roland Martin is the media guy, the commentator who's shining a light on the issues and sparking the discussions, while King Randall is definitely more of the hand-on community leader, actually out there doing the daily work with the kids in his school and program. So both have their role, but yeah, King Randall's more on the ground doing the day-to-day.
I got another question. What is the issue between King Randall and Umar Johnson?
Sure thing, Uncle Mo. So the issue between King Randall and Dr. Umar Johnson kind of comes down to a difference in philosophy and a little bit of public disagreement. Basically, both of them have a focus on educating and uplifting Black youth, but they have different approaches and they've had a few public disagreements. Dr. Umar Johnson is known for his very specific views on Pan-Africanism and building his own school, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. And sometimes he's questioned or critiqued other people in the community who are doing similar work, just maybe in a different way. King Randall is a lot younger, and he started his school in a more grassroots way. And at times, Dr. Umar has kind of critiqued him or questioned how he's doing things. So that's created a little bit of friction or debate between them. In short, it's kind of one of those situations where two people who both care about the community have just had a public difference of opinion.
Okay, I got a question. Can you find out what school was Dr. Umar an actual principal or that he teached at?
So here's the scoop, Uncle Mo. Dr. Umar Johnson hasn't actually been a principal or a teacher at a specific school. Instead, his background is as a school psychologist, and he's really known for advocating on behalf of African American children, especially around issues like special education and misdiagnosis. He's done a lot of work through advocacy groups rather than being in a traditional school leadership role. So long story short, he's more of an advocate and speaker than someone who's actually run a school himself.
Oh, so it sounds like he's full of shit when he say that he's the president of a school or was ever a principal of a school.
Well, I'd say it's more like there's a bit of a difference between what he's envisioned and what's actually happened so far. Dr. Umar definitely calls himself the leader or the president of the school he's been trying to open, the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. But that school's been in the works for years and it hasn't officially opened, and he hasn't actually served as a principal in a traditional school before. So it's not necessarily that he's full of it. It's more like he's been working on building a school from the ground up, and he sees himself as the future leader of that school. But as of now, it hasn't fully materialized. So it's just important to separate what he's planning from what he's actually done so far.
Okay, so long story short, Dr. Umar has never been a principal of a school.
Yep, you got it. Long story short, Dr. Umar has never actually been a principal of a school. He's definitely been an advocate and he's got plans and a vision, but he hasn't actually held that principal role in any traditional school setting.
Okay.
Absolutely. Glad I could break it down for you. If you got any more questions or need anything else, just let me know.
Will do. I'll come back to you later. Thanks.
You got it. Anytime, Uncle Mo. Just give me a shout whenever you're ready.
Thanks, Little Mo.
You're very welcome. Talk to you later.
As you can see or hear, as you heard, ChatGPT can't find nowhere that this guy was ever a damn principal. And he broke down everything that King Randall did for the community and is doing for the community. But he can't find anything that Umar did. And the only thing that Roland Martin did was just talk. That's it. We listening to double speak? What are you talking about? Please explain yourself. What's up, Smiley? Smiley man, what's good? Yeah, that school was already built. They gave it up for whatever reasons. And Umar still has not made anything happen. And he had that school for what, about to be 7 years. What, February makes 7 years? About to be 7 years, he did absolutely nothing with that school that he had. Which is ridiculous. But somebody wanted me to play the clip again, so let's play this clip.
Go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided that we have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So so define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement.
What's a tether and what's a FBA? I'm kind of confused on all of that. What's a tether and what's a FBA? And from there, I'll give you my opinion and my point of view.
No. So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're going to go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's going to change in our community.
So you went.
We have to get out.
Well, he basically saying we need to do for self, and instead of waiting for a savior, get up and do what we can do our own self and shit. And Roland Martin, I think his beef with him is they losing the younger generation. The younger generation is not jumping on the Democratic plantation no more. And that's kind of why I want to know for old boy that said Heathers versus FBAs, because I feel like we are not at that point, and the black community cannot use any type of division, bro. We don't need that shit. It's not going to help us. It's not going to push any betterment, because at the end of the day, whether if you're black, that you can trace your roots back down to slavery, I do understand that people that's born here in American, they have a unique upbringing, because we have the pain and the trauma from that, and it's the difference of people that come from the Caribbean. But in my opinion, especially when you in this Western atmosphere, whether you in Jamaica, Trinidad, Dominican Republic, America, everybody was on that same slave ship. You just got off at different stops on the fucking boat, different stops on the bus. But everybody was on that same bus. We all came from the same place. So all this division, we don't need us to strive to none of that shit. We need to come together and see how can we connect all those resources that we can pan together and actually make something that we all can contribute for. Because FBA, black people, Afro-American, whatever the fucking name y'all want to call this fucking decade. It was the blood of our ancestors that got all of us here today, that we are able to at least eat some of the fruit of their hard work. What is this top 3 concerns of Black America? Trying not to skip over your joints. If your grandparents are not from here, we are not listening to you. Your parents, we're not listening. All right, so that's even hard to say, right? If your parents not, we are not listening to you out here, it's already up for you. What do that fucking mean? It's already up for you. What if your grandparent? What if your like paternal side is here and can trace back to slavery, and your other side can't be traced? Like, it's so mixed up that makes no sense, because I can speak for my family. My father's side can stretch back. They literally bought the plantation. My family bought the plantation that we was fucking held captives on. And we own it to this day. Like, my family owns that section of South Carolina where they was at. And then on my mother's side, my grandfather family can stretch all the way back to when they came over here from Africa in the slave trade. But my grandmother family, my great-great-grandmother family, was enslaved in the Caribbeans. So what do that mean? We all was fucking slaves. I ain't gonna say we all, but a great bunch of us, like, we don't have the fucking power to be divided over something so fucking stupid. And I bet you the same person who pushed that shit to you, it's somebody in your family that's not direct lineage to that shit. But y'all just need something to hold on to make you feel better than what the fuck you are. But the same people that y'all live in certain areas, y'all throw trash on the floor where y'all live at, y'all piss in the hallways, y'all do all the degenerate behavior, but then want to point the finger at somebody else. Show me that y'all being a fucking FBA or whatever the fuck. I'm black. That's what I am. I'm just black. If you black from anywhere in the diaspora, I can relate to you. I'm just black, bro. All that other fucking striving to make me feel segregated from somebody else or better or less than, I don't subscribe to that shit. And it's up. What the fuck does it up mean? You ain't gonna do shit to nobody, so I don't know why people say that shit. It's up. Like, that don't mean nothing, bro. Or we could look at us and half of y'all never left America to even know the hardships that people are facing right now to this day. You know what I'm saying? Half of y'all never left America. I done traveled around the world 3 times in the capacity of work, and I done been places, and I done seen some wild stuff that I am very grateful that I was happened to be born here. I got family members that live in third world countries and shit. Like, we have first world problems, and we got time to fucking argue and fuss with each other over a motherfucker that was an ex-pimp that got y'all thinking that you're better than somebody, and we reading at a fucking average of a 6th grade level? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Y'all got me digressing. Y'all bring me back to my old school ways, man. I'm not black. So what am I? If I'm not black, what am I? My family literally bought the plantation that we fucking was enslaved on. So when am I? If I'm not black, when am I? Because when I look in this mirror and when I go in a room, they see me as a black man. It don't matter if I got curly hair, wavy hair, or kinky hair. I'm a black man when I walk into any room. So what am I? And then if somebody can identify and say they can be a male or whatever the fuck, right? I can say I'm black. I don't see what's problem with that. Hood mentality. Need to get out and see the world and then understand that nobody gives a shit about FBA, African American, black. They see us all as the same. That is 100% true, bro. And I remember, like, one of my biggest issues I used to have when I joined and growing up in the military is how Afro Hispanic people did not see themselves as black. You speak for you, Tever people. Ain't no real. I'm not a nigga, so I'm cool with that. I'm not a nigga at all. I sound like a black man that's not running with some bullshit I made up 2 years ago. Like, that makes no sense. Like, y'all don't even fully understand the extent of what a tether is. I don't identify as being none of that shit. And if you knew my background and where I'm from, even though you can see it say straight from RC, I'm from the Bronx, but if you knew my background, you would appreciate that I'm on some calm shit right now, not the way I used to be. But I've never been a keyboard warrior, never been scared to hide my face, because I've always been bold and straightforward with everything I did. And I don't care if I sound like a Teva or whatever the fuck that shit is. That sound crazy. I'm a Teva, but your family can't trace themselves back to slavery. You can't take, and your family, you fucking fake ass foundational fucking whatever the fuck that is, right? Y'all don't even own, like, my Tever family went so hard that we went back and bought out the motherfuckers and bought the land that we fucking worked on, you know? But I'm cool with that. Let me see. I never dug smoke. Appreciate that. Yeah, you sound like crazy, man. I sound like a Teva. I will not listen. I love my fucking family from my father's side. That's from fucking New York's a Teta cat. All right, bro. I don't know where the fuck you at. Where you at? Where you at? Since it's all that, where are you from? Talk about that. Talk about your family, because I could get disrespectful, but I'm trying to be more polite in my older age, you know? Black is just a color. What you represent. I represent my skin. I represent my people. I don't represent sitting behind a keyboard all day trolling people to tell people that this and that. All right. And y'all could clip this shit however. This is what I hate about you fake ass pro. Like, I don't subscribe to the conscious community and all you fake ass pro black motherfuckers. Motherfuckers know what I rock with and they know what I fuck with. And if y'all had eyes, you could tell from my dress code most of the time what I'm about. But all that shit y'all letting them divide y'all. Y'all supposed to be so smart and so conscious and all this bullshit, but y'all always look for division, bro. Everybody fucking hates us, but yet y'all find a way to hate each other. That makes no goddamn sense to me, bro. And I'm a dude that came from the street, that contribute to street shit at a point in time in my life, and I opened up my eyes and realized. And this fucking fake ass FDA shit is what, like 3 years old, 2 years old? Like, nobody never heard of this shit besides that shit, bro. Like, nobody heard it, and now all of a sudden, all you motherfuckers is so goddamn pro-black, but ain't do shit to fucking help the black. Say, you ain't got 10 real blacks that rock with you. I'm out. Keeping mixed breed self over there. LA, y'all. I'm not going to disrespect LA. I lived out there for 4 years. Shout out to the real ones. But y'all some of the most mixed people out there. But it's cool. I don't know why the chat box really gave it. But yeah, like, you sound crazy. Shout out to Tariq Rashid. He fucking really got y'all feeling yourself. And y'all such have no identity that y'all just cling to anything, bro. I'm black. I'm black. I'm married to a black woman. I have black children. Yes, I have Caribbean descent, and I'm not gonna fucking not claim my Caribbean background, because I'm from one of the few islands that fucking fought against and actually did for self from Grenada. You motherfuckers just talking. Y'all got all the rights in the world and can do better, but y'all just yappity yap. and argue with other black people, but be scared when y'all see white people. Talk about that. Talk about that. How when you could get it, y'all scared of everything, man. Y'all talk all that foundation shit, but don't pick up a fucking book. Pick up a book, and I hang out with real black people every day. You right, man. I ain't gonna let them get me off of topics, man. You right, man. We about to get back to the content. What the fuck is the code? Foundational black Americans need to stand on coal. Hopefully they will. Hopefully we. You back and you subscribe. I appreciate that. I take all subscribers. You say ain't nobody taking your lunch money. Listen, I don't have no issues with Tariq Nasheed. I mean, Tariq Nasheed is responsible for bringing us some of the greatest fucking scammers in fucking black history, like Umar Johnson. You know, we all know that, right? You know, he bought us that. He scammed motherfuckers too. But I like how he do stand on it. He gave y'all identity. If that's what y'all need to get better, you got to. I'm just black. I'm black. I'm cool with that, you know? I like black Americans, black Caribbeans, black Africans, black French people, black. I can't help it. I like blackity black, you know? I'm blackity black. Use a clown that ain't even got your picture up there talking that shit. I think I'm gonna have to make a disagreement day where I go on StreamYard and I just bring people up and let them disagree, as long as they ain't showing no crazy shit that get me demonetized. But yeah, man. Hang time, thanks for subscribing. It's telling me in the chat I had it set up where it go bling bling bling, and it's set up that you. But I ain't even, I forgot to fucking put it on this one right here. But let's get back to the content. I let them get me all out of hand. I'm already up past my bedtime because I got to go to work tomorrow. But I work from home tomorrow, you know? You dig? I work off my computer. And I work for the government as a tether, as y'all say.
In 2022, we opened Life Preparatory School for Boys. This school was opened with the goal and the vision to teach our young men what they should know. Teaching children how to grow food, work on cars, work on houses. So many young men have been affected by our school today. And as we've had so much success, we've also had struggles. We've had our school vandalized. We've not been able to fulfill and give the experiences that our parents and our students have been looking for. But we've also succeeded. We've saved children. We've gotten children out of homes of abuse. We've gotten children out of homes of molestation. But we want to scale. We want to take this bigger. We want to make our school massive. We want to make...
He looked like one of the damn kids. You see that shit? Robson, I think you like me, bro. You still in my chat? I forgot all about you, bro. I'm from the fucking Bronx, motherfucker. I was born and raised in the Bronx. Born and raised in the Bronx. My fucking great-great-grandmother came here almost a century ago. I was born in the Bronx. I represent the Bronx. I'm known in the Bronx. And people like you, I would have gave a wedgie growing up, bro. I would have gave you a wedgie. You know that? I would have gave you a wedgie. An atomic wedgie. I'd have put your little cheap-ass drawers over your head, bro.
This school, the blueprint
40-something
for
years
America.
old.
So take a walk with us as we show you the new 5-year plan to scale our vision.
Back in 2022, many of you saw me live on the roof of our school for 2 months in the blazing heat to raise $1 million. Now we're gonna raise $10 million, but it's gonna cost us 200 miles. And I'm personally gonna walk those 200 miles from the city of Albany, Georgia, all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, in order to scale our vision. So let me show you what we're gonna do with $10 million. So one of the first things we thought about for our school was, where did we make mistakes? How did we go wrong? And one of the things we didn't think about was generating revenue for our school. Our school for the past 5 years has been running exclusively off of donations. So we decided to conduct a study for this neighborhood, and we also acquired this building. What do we plan to do with this building? We plan to open a laundromat. This laundromat could service this entire...
If I lived here, I sound ignorant. Oh, you talk about him. If I lived here, for my whole life, 43 years. My mama lived here her whole life, 60-something years. My daddy lived here his whole life, 70 years. My great-great-granddaddy was a fucking slave here and went back and bought the, they family went and bought the land that they till to, you know. Tell me what you did with yourself besides sit here and talk in my chat. You're up at 12. Well, I guess it's 9 over there where you at. I just appreciate hit the fucking like button while you're here. Let's get back to the realness.
We have to get out and go do for self.
All right, folks, I'm getting ready to do Roland Martin Unfiltered on the Black Star Network.
Look at this
Do
fat
y'all
fuck.
remember that young brother from Georgia I had on the show who supported the Republicans' voter suppression bill, but he said that, oh, he don't do politics and sort of stuff along those lines, and
Who this? Is this a FBA?
See it?
Yes, sir.
This is the size of the
Right
tire
now.
right here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
235 is what?
Can y'all hear now? Cause I did mute it, but my bad. Can y'all hear? Let me know if y'all can hear it.
He's teaching the kids about auto repair.
How do I know what size rim I got? It's on your tire, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Remember, all this information is on the vehicle usually somewhere, so you don't have to go and find it, right? So
Whoa.
what you're gonna do in almost every
Oh, appreciate. We got a donation. Appreciate you. Shout out to Hang Time 33. I wish God doggone YouTube go back that we could see the actual names that you put up here. But shout out to that super chat. Send out $20. I appreciate you. And glad to hear. And everybody else hit that like button. It costs you nothing, but I appreciate y'all to hit that like button, man.
every single vehicle, you're gonna open the door, come over this side. You're gonna open the door, you're gonna look in the door jamb, right?
Just to let y'all know too, I'm going back to Umar school to see if that same bag of fucking trash is sitting out there from when I went in September. Only reason I ain't go back the last time, because I have my kids with me and they was tired of traveling over Thanksgiving and shit, so I ain't want to drive through there. But yeah, I'm going back. I'll give y'all an update. I'll go live from out there.
Here, if you look here, and I'll let y'all all come around and see it. If you look right here in the door jamb, it's gonna tell you PSI how much pressure to put in your tire. You understand? Yes, sir. So move out the way and let somebody else come see it. This is gonna be almost every vehicle. Somewhere it's gonna tell you. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna look. All right, boom. So I found the size of the tire right here, right?
Yes, sir.
Can y'all see it?
Yes, sir.
This is the size of the tire right here. Got it?
Yes, sir.
235 is what?
How wide it is.
All right, and then the 65 is what?
How tall it is.
Like the height from the rim, right?
Yes, sir.
And R17 means what?
The size of the rim.
Exactly, all right? You want to make sure you have tire pressure correct, and you want to make sure you check the tire threads, you understand?
Yes, sir.
What I mean by tire thread. So this right here, y'all see all these little tracks right here?
Yes, sir.
This, come around this way so you can see it. Y'all see the thread right here? Yes, sir. If you can't see it, put somebody out the way so you can see it. All right, so this right here is going to tell you if you need a new tire or not. You understand? Yes, sir. This thread right here is going to tell you if you need a new tire. You see how I can stick my finger in there and it's really, really thick, right? Yes, sir. If you had a tire that needed a new tire.
I ain't gonna hold you. I used to be bad at that shit, bro. My boys right now make fun of me all the time because I used to let my shit go crazy. Every state inspection, they say I need a new one. Now I got, new vehicles. And the last time I just went and bought brand new tires and shit. I used to buy the used tires, like, dang. But look at him. He doing the real work in the community, showing these kids how to actually survive in life and how to actually move. You know what I mean? They moving the needle. You get what I'm saying? They actually doing the do,
You take this freaking pad out right here. You see it? Yes, sir. See the pad?
So I tell you, he's teaching them how to change brakes and shit. And that's good to learn that at a young age. I ain't learned how to change my brakes until maybe like 2 years ago. I learned how to do it before, and then I ain't really do it. I just paid for the commitment. I started actually doing it myself like 2 years ago because my other car, they went like $600 just to do brakes and road. Not even brakes and roads, just to do the brake pads on one of them. And then I started doing it. Me and my boys, we do all our work. We done changed our control arms. We got that shit on the
I ain't
channel.
gonna lie, we need more of this. There's a lot of young boys that don't have those basic skills. Don't know how to change a tire, don't know how to put up sheetrock, don't know how to lay a brick. Don't know how to put on floors. And I know how to do some of this stuff, and I'm a woman. I need all my boys learning this stuff. All of them.
And I ain't gonna lie, growing up, my uncle's a plumber and shit. He's foundational black, for all y'all that know. But he taught me how to do a lot of that stuff when I was a kid and when I was living with him in South Carolina. And we laid down floors, we did carpentry, we built sheds, we did plumbing, we did a little sheetrock, we did a little bit of everything.
Every last single one needs these skills. So if you see a young boy and you put a tire on, come here, boy, let me show you this. Teach them.
This weekend.
They need to know these things. A lot of them don't know. A lot of them don't have fathers. They're at home with their mother, and their mother's not going to teach them this. So please, if you can, teach a young brother.
You take this freaking.
And I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of kids without fathers. It's too many kids without fathers. I ain't gonna say a lot. It's too many kids without a male father living in the house. But it's a lot of kids that the father's there. We gotta stop pumping that agenda saying that we don't have fathers there and shit. Because just because you're not with the mother or the mother don't want to be with you, don't mean that you're not a part of your children's life and stuff. Because when I go to school for my kids, I see more fathers there with mothers. And I'm not saying that the mothers are not involved. What I'm saying is they live in life. It's a team effort. I take my kid to Korea there. So I see as a team. And I see the grandparents. Out here, I see a lot of grandparents involved, So they got to stop pushing that agenda that it's only kids without an underprivileged. And like I said, I live in a mixed community.
So this guy's name is King Randall, and he ran like a little experiment. He posted a post talking about how he was going to vote for Trump, and he took a look at those comments. And then he posted something saying that he was going to vote for Kamala. And then he took a look at those comments. And y'all, it might shock you, but take a look at what he found out. Make sure you like the video right here, repost, do all the things right here, but check this out.
I made two separate videos before the election. One of the videos said I was going to vote for Kamala Harris. The other video said I was going to vote for Donald Trump. And I just wanted to see the mixed reactions from people and how people would react, because I do a lot of work from my hometown, do a lot of work from my community. I work with young boys. And I never said who I was voting for. But I made those two videos because I wanted to show people how they are in reality. I made the Donald Trump video and I made the Kamala Harris video. Under the Kamala Harris video, you definitely had some Trump supporters like, well, we understand that you may have a different opinion or whatever, but we still support what you do. Maybe you'll wake up one day, et cetera, et cetera. You know, things like that. It wasn't nothing vile, wasn't no bad comments or nothing. I made the Donald Trump video. I got people that unfollowed me. I got people saying they can't support nothing I do no more. I got folk calling me all types of names, et cetera, et cetera. But what's crazy is all of the Kamala Harris supporters have become what they accuse Trump supporters of being. When you say you support Donald Trump, y'all be ready to y'all ready to hang to at the stake. You calling them all types of names, you unfollowing them, you don't care what they're doing for their community, nothing. If you support Trump, if you I do so much, et cetera, et cetera. But all the people under the post, all the Trump supporters, when I said I was gonna vote for Kamala, it was all love anyway. They was like, well, we still support what you're doing. We still gonna donate. We still love the work, even though you don't have to support Donald Trump, et cetera, et cetera. So I've only received hate from the people that call themselves the tolerant side, the side that's supposed to be about love, the side that's supposed to be, that's not about. But it's crazy because anytime somebody doesn't agree with you, all you spew is, all you give is. So it's funny how everybody who call themselves Democrats, you have turned into what you accuse the Republicans of being.
Let me know what you think about that in a comment right now. Seriously, leave a comment. Make sure you like the video. Post, repost, follow for more.
All that shit he says.
See you on the next one.
All that stuff he just said. But listen, I will say this. Back then, if you said that you was anything like 6 months ago that was not, probably a little longer than that. It's almost a year. It's been a year. But, you know, last year, if you said that you was for anything other than the Democratic Party and you had a hue of black in you, you was getting crucified. Now we found out both of them ain't shit. The Democrats ain't shit. The Republicans ain't shit. They spew fucking racism like crazy. They doing but that bitch back to like 1962 highs with this shit. Like, it's just crazy how blatantly racist people is. But I knew it was. We all know it and shit. I think some people need to get slapped with the truth. But it's crazy because, like I said, I have friends that happen to be Caucasian. Yeah, I got Caucasian friends. I'm in the military. Of course, I got Caucasian. And they're not racist at all. And it's crazy to them because they be more upset about fucking racism than me. They be like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy I didn't know he was a fucking racist. I'm like, how could you not tell? But, it is good people out there, it's bad people. I don't concern myself with motherfuckers like that shit. As long as you don't play with me, I think the problem is people don't beat people ass. If you beat people ass, then they tend to be the cure to racism and a whole lot of other shit,
Extra $100 right now. What would you do? Hey, you take this freaking pad out right here. You see it?
Yes,
sir. See the pad? Yes, sir. Now, like I'm telling you, these don't need change. You understand? Yes, sir. These are fine. See how thick that is right there? Yes, if it needed to be changed.
This is from a chick saying that.
Roland Martin, are you working with us or against us? Because if not, just let us know. You know something that I peeped that whole time between you talking to that young man is that you know that he has something that's for his community that he's doing right. You know what I found was so freaking interesting? That while you asked these questions and he was a guest on your show, his name did not appear anywhere on the television, right? Then on top of that, you know that he has this program that he's probably funding out of community funds, right? But at the bottom of the screen, in the red teleprompter, all you see is ways to donate to Roland Martin, how to send Venmos to Roland Martin, how to send Cash Apps to Roland Martin. But I don't understand. Then you have to really dig on social media to even figure him out, that you couldn't even have a tag. We know who you are when you're up there because your name is there, but you couldn't have it for your guests. And the whole time, the young man then told you what he was doing and what he was trying to get done. And instead of being about the mission of what he needed to accomplish, you try to flip the script and try to make it seem like he was against something that has nothing to do with his cause. I tell y'all every single day to start paying attention to propaganda. Roland Martin, are you?
This brought up a lot of good points, man. Because the problem is they more concerned about his own feelings than his fucking looking out for the community, Let me see. Is this dude from the Power Rangers? You sound fucking stupid, user, whatever the fuck your name is. Sound goddamn dumb. Yeah, I'm from the Power Ranger. I'm the fucking shut the fuck up Ranger. What up? What up? Shout out to you. Who the fuck is this guy? Yeah, what up? What up? I'm gonna shut the fuck up, Ranger. Appreciate you tuning in, man. Welcome to the party. Shit. Yeah, that is crazy that he had him on the show. You ain't gotta agree with the dude. You ain't gotta, y'all could have different point of views, different standpoints and shit. But he could at least put up there that the kid, because at the end of the day, if it's about the kids and you care about the community, you could be a Democrat, I could be a Republican, you could be an independent. If it's for the purpose of helping the community, you should be able to put all of that stuff to the side to better the community. Because if you better the community for one, you better it for everyone. Okay? But they too busy on their personal agenda. But you get paid $400,000 or $500,000 from the Democratic Party to do 2 or 3 interviews and just push this in the agenda, then Roland Martin is like, I'm telling you, man, he's a clown. A high calorie clown.
When you look inside a vehicle, you're gonna take the oil cap. You're gonna look at the oil cap. I'm pulling it off for you so that you don't have to move. You see this oil cap right here? It's gonna tell you what kind of oil your vehicle uses. You understand?
Yes, sir.
See right here, it says 5W20. Got it?
Yes,
I
sir.
have yet to see a car that doesn't tell you. So every car on the lid is gonna tell
Check
you
my
what
shit. I
type
don't
of
do
oil
oil
the
changes
car
on my
uses.
truck.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I booked that shit. It came with
Go to the
lifetime
store.
oil changes.
You know what I'm saying? I need some 5W20 motor oil. Got it?
I want to know her age,
Let's
boy.
go
She
in
look
this
like she
particular
old as shit.
vehicle.
She
Now, I
probably
like to get the best
25.
oil to use so you can go longer without getting the oil change. This motor oil, got it?
Yes, sir.
This is a freaking oil filter pliers, got it?
Yes, sir.
Say oil filter pliers.
Oil filter pliers.
Drain pan.
Drain pan.
Drain pan.
Drain pan.
Say oil filter.
Oil filter.
Oil filter.
Oil filter.
Why do we need a jack stand?
Because
For extra support. Say extra support.
Extra support.
Extra support.
Extra support.
Basically, you don't want to die, you understand?
Yes, sir.
Drain plug, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a screw, but it's a drain plug, you understand?
Yes, sir.
So
I ain't gonna hold you. When I go work on my car and shit, I take that shit on base to the hobby shop where they got the lift where I could put it on there and I ain't gotta worry about that shit falling down. Hey, man, you ain't gonna be stealing our thunder. You must not been here earlier when I was kicking Umar back in. That's what I said. He everything that Umar fucking wish he was. He's like the bizarro Umar. You know what I mean? He the bizarro Umar. Where's that shit where Superman was backwards? The bizarro world Umar. That's what Randall is. He's the
now that we got the
bizarro world
drain
Umar,
plug
bro.
right here, we're gonna
half the
freaking find
age.
the socket that fits it, and we're gonna unscrew it so all the old oil come out. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Oil. See that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, now we're gonna wait for all the old oil to drip out. You understand?
Yes, sir. Sir.
All right, now I'm gonna put the freaking drain plug back. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. When you look inside a vehicle,
Like I can respect that, joint. That you teaching them life lessons. You giving them. That's what I'm saying with Umar. Umar's so god doggone stupid. He could have been bringing in the kids from that community and teaching them just regular skills like this until they get on. You know what I'm saying? Till he could get the other educational joint on and popping. But he too busy with this fake king of fucking panhandling and all that shit instead of actually putting in that work to help out the community.
So there's been a lot of fuss on my social media pages about the students saying yes sir, and I don't think people are understanding why we have them say yes sir and say it. So
Now listen, I say this. Up north, where I'm from, you ain't really hear nobody talk that talk. But when I got to South Carolina, they was talking that talk. And I remember when I came back to New York, they used to say, like, I used to have a female that I was dating, right? And when I used to call, I call her house, I'd be like, hey, can I speak to such and such, ma'am? And that's how they used to say. They say my real name, like Mo, ma'am. That's what they used to call me. But not Mo, but my actual government that's close to Mo. Mo always been my nickname. But they'd be like, oh, it's Mo, ma'am on the phone, But it's that respect, bro. Like, I have respect for my elders, and to show you, like, yo, how you doing, man? What's going on? And that common courtesy and human decency of respect. Like, I don't see how could you not want that. It was one of my neighbors around the corner, my daughter's best friend. She used to come in here. She'd be like, yes, sir. Oh, man. I like it. I'm from a background of discipline and love. So I didn't look at it no different. I look at my kids like, you gonna say that too, you know? But it's crazy that we got away from that.
So often. I don't think many of you actually work with children. If you work with young boys today in 2024, most of these boys are very, very, very soft-spoken. They barely speak when you speak to them. They don't say good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Like, they don't give the proper greeting of the day at all. They ignore you when you're talking to them. They're nodding their heads and all that number. They want to, finger grip you when you're trying to shake their hand and, grab you with those fingertips. And, I make them say yes, sir, for a reason. The reason being is that it's teaching them to respond to something when somebody's talking to you. It's a routine that I'm building in responding when somebody's talking to you. We also make them say the proper greeting of the day. When they come in the room, when they come in our building, they have to say good afternoon, good morning, good evening, whatever the proper greeting of the day is to everybody that's in the room. They're also required to shake our hands when they walk in the room. It's building a routine of making your presence known when you first come into any place. That's very important for our boys because they're not understanding that nowadays. And also teaching them again to respond. I mean, these kids, you're talking to them, they're shaking their head, they're nodding their head, they're not looking at you while they're talking. And for those of you who keep saying, oh, yes, sir, it's slave mentality, actually, you were also taught not to look at
The heck? What do that got to do with slave mentality? Like, who the hell came up with that? Y'all just be saying anything, having common courtesy, respect, and decency, saying yes, sir, no, sir, is slave mentality. Cut it out. Please stop the BS.
somebody in their face. You were taught not to speak loudly to your slave master, etc. So me telling them to look somebody in their face, project their voice, act like they know who they are, is actually teaching them against being a slave, because being a slave is somebody who cowers down and scared to speak and won't shake their hand and afraid to look somebody in their eye. That's what a slave is. So when I'm telling the kids to say yes, sir, it's not for me or me being egotistical. It's me building a routine in those students.
Confidence.
So routines build habits, habits build character, and character makes the man. That's why we make them say yes, sir, and make them say it loudly. It's to learn to project their voice and actually respond when somebody's talking to you, because so many boys nowadays actually don't talk back to you. They don't say anything. They're nodding their heads. They don't know how to shake hands, and they don't know how to get a proper greeting of the day. Please understand why we do that, and know that students are never going to stop saying yes, sir. So get over it or unfollow. Thanks so much.
I respect that, bro. He's teaching them confidence. He's teaching them respect. He teaching them how to be humble, but still confident. Yeah, look a man in his eye. Have a firm handshake. You get what I'm saying? Open the door for a woman. Open the door for children. That's just common courtesy, decency, and respect. And that carries you on. Like, I remember a judge told me, respect is going to take you places education can't. Yeah, I said judge.
Meet King Randall, a 25-year-old who is walking from Albany, Georgia to Atlanta, Georgia, all for a good cause. Let me explain.
I know you're serious about that shit. All right, let's hear it out.
For the past 4 or 5 years, he's been boots on the ground teaching young black men how to succeed in life, but now he's looking for a new, bigger facility. I've done about 4 or 5 stories about him. I know him. This is a good cause. So in Natural Anthony style, I'm going to give him a little forecast.
And go follow King Randall page. A lot of these videos is coming from King Randall page where he's reposting they shit. I'm looking at him on TikTok. He's on Twitter. Go follow his shit. Show some love. Show some respect. He don't know me, but tell him Uncle Mo sent you.
As he tries to make his way up to Atlanta. As King can probably attest, it's been hot, but the dew points for now are relatively low, so it's more of a dry heat. But that'll change starting tomorrow as the humidity starts to ramp up. These are dew points, 70s dew points. So he's going to be entering areas where it's going to start to feel like the triple digits pretty soon. But like I was talking about with my forecast today, there's a front coming in and rain chances are going to be on the increase. It's going to be a front that slowly pushes south, and then towards North Georgia, rain chances are going to be very high mid and late next week. That will lower temperatures from where they're at now, much above normal, but that means you're going to deal with rain. So King, be sure to stay safe, and every like that I get on this video, I'll be donating $1 to his foundation. Meet King Randall, a 25-year-old who's walking...
Boy, look, warn the fuck out, though. Like, you walking through Georgia in July? Woo. I respect it, bro.
I heard a debate between Malcolm and Bayard Rustin. And Malcolm said, if white immigrants could come to this country years ago with nickels and dimes and no education,
come and pool their little nickels and dimes and no education, set up stores, develop the
I agree with like everything so far with this boy, but this haircut got to fucking go. I'm glad he won ball. What is the goddamn? This is 23. I'm glad he won ball because this haircut looks crazy, bro. Let's go.
those stores into larger stores, which turns into an industry, which creates job opportunities for their own kind. He said with us at that time having spending power of $20 billion, today it's over $1 trillion, not using any of that money to set up any industry, not setting up any factories, not setting up any job opportunities for our own kind, we're not in a moral position to point the finger today at the white man and claim that he's discriminating against us for not giving us jobs in factories we hadn't set up. So I'm listening to this, I'm like, this sounds like 2021. So I'm just like, man, so I'm like, well, if we say the schools are failing, why don't we try to open it up?
I mean, he's getting some good points, but I don't, oh boy, he talking to is suspect.
Our own schools. If we say that the hospitals are failing, why not opening our own hospitals? So I went on a quest. I told my boys, I was like, listen.
We waiting for these fucking FBAs to fucking do it.
I don't know how we're going to do it, but we're going to open us up a school one day. I'm not sure how we're going to do it. I've heard a debate between.
I mean, he do, like, I see one of the comments say he need to do more research and shit. Yeah, it's part of, like, I understand the point he's trying to hit. He's not getting the whole story, but I understand the point that he's trying to hit, and I wholeheartedly respect that point of view and shit, you know? I'm gonna find that speech that he talking about. Martin, Malcolm X was talking about that shit. We gonna rock on to the next joint. Wow,
Excuse me, ma'am. How you doing? I'm doing fantastic. My name is King Randall. I just wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you had an extra $100 right now, what would you do with it?
Right now, I would spend it on my daughter because she is sick at home.
Really?
Flu, I believe.
Okay.
And
Yes, ma'am.
I just got off from work.
Yes, ma'am.
And she called me, and she had brain surgery also. So
Really?
She stayed in
God
Atlanta
damn.
for almost a year from that brain surgery. She had a stroke. So
Wow.
take care of her, so she's finally living back by herself.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that's what I'm doing now, buying some stuff to take over there to fix her some medicine.
Well, I
so
think
she could feel better.
Wow, I think God put us in the right place. So here's an extra $100 for you. I do this for holidays and close to the holiday time. So I'm giving back because I believe in God being a blessing to me. So I try to be a blessing to others when I can. So this is an extra $100.
Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna bless
I try to be a blessing. So I try to be yes, ma'am.
and buy her stuff and give it the rest of it to her.
Yes, ma'am. Well, do something nice for yourself. I see you working and stuff. So go get you some ice cream or something. Just take you a chill pill. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Roscoe.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yeah. The only thing I disagree with though is I'm more for, helping people. I don't think you should be videotaping everything. Everything don't need to be televised. I understand, what I'm saying, if the goal is to push that to make others wanna donate and wanna contribute, I respect that shit, but I feel some things don't need to be televised. You get what I'm saying? Like it should come from the heart and it shouldn't be where you doing it for the, the likes, the views. It should be coming from the heart. That's just me. I don't knock the ones that do because the message is still getting across, but I just think that you should be doing it for, like, I hate motherfuckers that go give the homeless some shit, then be like, taking pictures of themselves after they done gave to the homeless. I feel like if it's coming from the heart, it should be done it should be like the integrity shit. You should be done when nobody's watching. It shouldn't have to be done because you gonna get like some kudos or anything. Like I noticed that with a lot of Pats, that's what they do. I don't think that's his thing, but
I follow this guy King Randall on Twitter. He's doing his best to help young black men. What does he get in return? A completely trashed school. I'm completely disgusted. I follow this guy King Randall on Twitter.
And we don't know who trashed the school, but you know, it is what it is.
When
He
you
got
look
back
inside
on
the
his feet.
vehicle, you're gonna take the oil cap. You're gonna look at the oil cap.
Baby trying to
I'm
learn.
pulling it off for you.
Baby trying to learn.
Like what? Explain that.
Okay. For example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school.
That is a good goddamn question. Why was Roland Martin so goddamn confused when he asked him do for self? I agree. The Bible, what it say? And let me tell y'all, disclaimer. I am not a religious person. I know my religion I practice, but I believe that everybody should have some higher belief, whatever that religious background is, because I really personally believe it's all the same thing on different lanes of the highway headed in the same direction. So whatever help you be a better person, I support that. So this is a safe space for no matter what your religious belief is or non-belief is. I support anybody that's trying to be better and get better results out of life. On that joint that he's talking about, I don't remember that debate, the exact one. He says the shit about how people come from other countries with Malcolm X. All right.
School systems a lot. Many
joint.
of our young men can't
There's some
read.
new
They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and
that's some real shit. He said him and some teenagers went and purchased a school. I'm gonna text my boys like, we fucking slacking. We got to do something. And I just want to start a program called fucking Young Men. Well, I wanted to start it off as Young Man with a Future, but because I want to get, I don't want to limit it to just boys and girls, like boys. I want to, have everybody involved. I'm going to call it young people with a future and just get the mentors. Like I'm in the military, so it's easy for me to get mentors from there. And then I got a homeboy that has a church and he's very, so I'm going to,
we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump.
Like what? Explain that.
Okay. For example.
Where do you think some of the problem stems? I mean, we talked about fatherhood at the very beginning. Do you think fatherhood is a major problem in that area?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. The lack of true male presence is probably one of the bigger issues. In order to be a man, you have to see a man. That's it. And people will try to say, oh, well, my mom, raised me by herself, and I was a good man. I said, your mom raised you by herself and you became a good man. It's because you was on a football team, you had a gym coach somewhere, you had male presence in your life. Your mom wasn't the sole person raising you completely. You never ran into any other men that had any impact on you, and no, absolutely not. And moms will be honest about that. But like, just do not sit here and tell me that your mom.
I must agree, man. Let me tell you a little bit about Uncle Mo, right? I even tell you how I got the name Uncle Mo. Before I was Uncle Mo, I was Little Mo. My father was Big Mo. My father's a wild boy growing up. He changed his life, but he was a gangster. So with that street life come street consequences. So my pops went to jail for a very long time. He was in jail from when I was like 2 till I was 13. And then went back by the time I was about before I graduated high school. He came out right before I got out of junior high school. By the time I was a senior, he was back in jail, right? Then he got out, and then he was out he passed on, And I will say this: my uncle, God bless his soul. My uncle, and I say that he's alive. That's like a father to me. He represented my father's side of the family, kept me with that part, came and picked me up every weekend. Granted, it wasn't hard. He lived in the neighborhood where I could walk down the street. He took me places, took me fishing, fielding, and he also drove me to see my pops every weekend, right? And my pops used to drop jewels on me not to follow his footsteps, right? But I can say, growing up, I probably had about 40 fathers. And I don't mean my mama was messing with 40 different men. I mean between my uncles, my school teachers, my community. I could not walk around the neighborhood and do certain things because somebody was going to smack me upside my head and make me get right. I went to private school up until 11th grade. I wanted to go to public school. But in my community, I couldn't be out at a certain time. We, like the community policed itself, man. I could not run around doing something crazy. When I heard somebody say, oh, that's Little Mo, I knew they knew my father. They called me Pop, I knew they knew my mother. But we had respect for the elders. I was raised. I see any elder, any adult, not even an elder, any adult carrying bags. We grab their bags, we carry it upstairs for them. We took care of the community. It was to the point that the old folks in our building, they would put their trash outside their door. And any one of us coming down the steps or see that trash in the hallway, we will pick it up and carry it downstairs. Because like my mother building, the trash can was around the corner. You know what I'm saying? It was around the corner where it was down there like a block behind the building. So we would carry that up there and do it, you know what I'm saying, and put out the trash, do whatever. We didn't trash our hallway. We had holiday parties. We was a real community, and it took a village, and a village helped me get raised. And I remember when I went to the military, like everybody was so proud of me. Even just last Thanksgiving, and I'm 43 years old. Like my family was looking at me, and they were saying how much of a change I made because when I was a teenager, I was fucking rough. Early 20s, I was rough. I was doing the damn thing, wilding out in these streets. I was that motherfucker you ain't want to run into. Yeah? And it took the gangsters in the neighborhood to tell me to sit my ass down that they seen something better than me than I didn't even see. And they was the father figures that made me go. I remember I had a homeboy, right? And I went to him to hustle. Or I was out trying to hustle. I was trying to get some work because I needed to get money for my graduation, right? And my moms was struggling and shit. And when I say struggling, because we wasn't poor, but my mom's had to, you know, pay the bills, do all this stuff. And I seen her trying to like do everything she had to do, work overtime. She worked for the post office and shit to get it. And I just wanted to get on my own. And when I went outside in the streets and try to hustle, the dudes in the community that was the hustlers, the drug dealers, the gangsters, them motherfuckers told me, nah, chill, shorty. What you need? What you trying to do this for? Oh, you need a suit for prom? Here goes some money for that, bro. We don't want to catch your ass out here. We catch you out here, it's gonna be a problem. Here you go. You need this? Yo, I don't want to owe nobody nothing. I could work for mine. We not fucking making you work. We giving you this as a graduation gift because you did the parts that I couldn't do. You know what I'm saying? So like, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village and a community atmosphere, and we need to build that more instead of the division. So I do hate when they say there ain't a bunch of fathers there because I had plenty of fathers and plenty of people who had their fathers in the household with them. And when my pops came home, he was at every basketball game. I was in band. He was at every band joint. He was at everything that involved me. You know what I'm saying? So I had a father. You know what I mean? Even when we see eye to eye, now that I'm an adult, I realized the love he gave me. Sometimes that shit was tough love, but I realized the love that I had. Let's get back.
Never put you on the football team, never let you play basketball. You never had a male teacher anywhere. You never had no male presence at all, and you became a great person. I believe you have to have that balance. Any single moms that have raised good men is because they put them around good men too. Yeah, they might have done it by themselves, but they also put them on football teams. A lot of single moms will make sure their kids are in sports. They will make sure their kids have some type of male around them, you know, good moms anyway, to make sure that they become something successful. Because most moms who refuse to put their men, put men around their sons, usually end up some gangbanger, etc. Like I guarantee it, and I've seen it, and I can say this because I've worked with children for so long. I can guarantee that that's what's happening, like every time.
Well, what do you guys think about that?
Simply saying, you can't just say that your mom raised you in real life because you've been around other males in your life, and you can't. And saying you need that balance of a male and a woman in your life.
I think what he was saying was that you need a man to be some type of like a decent man, or one woman can't do it all, even if she.
I ain't gonna lie, my OGs look out. They look out for me to this day, bro. And I ain't gonna lie, I was a knucklehead. I was part of a gang. I did my thing in these streets, and man, listen, they told me, like, I'm not ashamed to say it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not proud.
Kind of like you said, them. I think that's right.
I'm not proud to say that I went to jail before, but I'm not ashamed to say that I went. I was a teenager. I did adult things and had to deal with adult consequences, and I went to one of the worst goddamn facilities in the United States. And when I was there, I met a lot of good people that didn't have opportunities that I had, and I had to I realized not to take it for granted, you know. So with that, me not
Where do you think
taking
some
it
of the
for
problem
granted,
stems? I mean,
I had to change my life, and I had to realize that shit ain't gonna change until I changed it, you know. And it was crazy because right from New York, grew up in the '90s, early 2000s, went to Rikers Island. It was the OG Bloods that sat me down and said, "Yo, shorty, bro, you have better opportunities than us. We don't want to see you here no more, bro. We don't want to catch you here. You come here again, it's gonna be a problem, bro. We gonna handle your business for your mother because your mother is making sacrifice for you. We see she come to every visit, you know what I'm saying? Because she's scared that something gonna happen to you. I had to tell my mom, like, yo, don't come visit me no more, man. Go to work, do your thing. I'm good. I'm safe, man. I got myself into this. I could take care of myself. Granted, I was a fucking child. I was like 17 years old, 16, 17 years old. I'm 43 now, you know? So I thought I was a man when I was a fucking child at the time. And I'm glad that it was adults in there that realized I was a child and didn't try to horn me into being a fucking degenerate. They told me to go on about my life, and I went on. I graduated from college. I got my degree. I'm working on 2 degrees right now as we speak. I've been in the military for 22 years. I went through the ranks. That's why I tell people, if you knew what I came from, you'd be proud of me too. But I don't need nobody to be proud of me except for one person, and that's my fucking son. Because he will never have to go through what I went through and what I put myself through. And I'm lying to people because I'm glad that my mother's proud of me, and I make sure I do everything I got to do for her because she gave up well, she got it back, but she broke into her TSP, her 401k, and everything to make sure that I had and get me out of them situations. And thank God. Thank God. Thank God. So out of the shit with her, like even when I joined the military, I only joined that shit to do 4 years, bro. I wanted to give my mother at least a good 4 years she could be proud of because all the sacrifices she did when I was growing up, and she might be mad that I'll say this, but when I was younger, I can remember, right? While I do things for her. I don't know if you remember that cartoon, right? MC Hammer, when the fucking shoes used to talk and shit, and we be dancing. I remember my mama's shoes was talking like MC Hammer shoes so she could put me through Catholic school. You heard? And I remember us not having certain things, and she'd walk down the block because she ain't want shit for her parents. And I appreciate everything she did for me. That even when she pissed me off, I still gonna make sure if my mom's to call right now and need something, I'm on the highway up there. I drove one time 7 hours just to hang up blinds for my mother. Just to hang up blinds for her. Because like I said, if I was to call my mom right now and say I need anything or my kids need, she's gonna go without. And you know, I ain't asked my mother for shit since I was 21. I have not asked her for nothing in the last 42. No, I said bugging. I'm 43. In the last 22 years, I have not asked her for anything. And I remember one time, I'm lying. One time I asked her for some money because I had a gambling problem when I was stationed in California, right? And this is how I got over that gambling problem. It was Thanksgiving weekend. I asked my moms for to send me some money because I gambled everything away at the casino that was close to base, right? And when I asked her, my mom's is older. She told me I'm gonna send it in the mail, and it was like Friday, right? Thursday or Friday. It was even the day before thing. Well, I know I wasn't gonna get that shit for a couple of days, and I realized that I'm all the way in California, on my feeling in New York. I gotta make proper decisions and proper things because I don't have help that could get right to me at the time. And this is like 06, you know? So you know what I mean? I snapped out of it. I don't even fuck with casinos like that. When I go to casino, I've been to casino to watch the game. I ain't gamble at all. We watched the game. We had some drinks, me and my homeboys, And boom, I ain't even gamble on the game. I don't even do the FanDuel shit like that. I think I put $20 on there and just play with that shit. I've been playing with that the last 3 years. I learned a hard lesson on doing that shit. Let's see what they mean, second chances. Since we having that little talk on second chance. I don't know. I think this dude's a clown too. I think fucking Steve.
Where do you think some of the problem stems? I mean, we talked about fatherhood at the very beginning. Do you think? Where do you think some of Where do you think some of the problem stems? I mean, we talked about fatherhood at the very beginning. Do you think fatherhood is a major problem in that area?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. The lack of
Now, since we done seen what a good goddamn person is, let's see about this clown.
$13 million every Sunday is what we give the church nationally.
Where the fuck is he getting these numbers from? He be saying stuff that I just want to know, where is he getting the numbers from? Like, where is he getting the analytics from? Let's hear him out.
$13 million every Sunday, 52 weeks in a year, but Black Milwaukee ain't got his own hospital yet. Black Milwaukee ain't got its own manufacturing plant yet. 13 million every Sunday nationally. Black Milwaukee ain't got its own import-export business.
Monique probably not here no more, but Umar talk all that shit. I bet you he don't got his money in a black bank though. He say all that shit out there. I gotta look up that, Dre. I'm gonna look that up when I get off of live. Bullshit, like I ain't gotta work tomorrow. I got my laptop right here, but I'll get up at a decent time and knock out all my trouble tickets. Cause I do IT work now. My last 2 years before I retire.
Is church if it's only going to help you prepare to die? We don't need institutions that get you ready to die. You're going to do that all by yourself. We need institutions that's going to help us live and thrive. That's what we need. I agree with that. And if your sole purpose is to prepare me for death, what the hell you need money for to do that? All these mega churches. My problem with the mega church is how is it you floating a $50 million mortgage for a gigantic prayer house that employs not a single black person? The mortgage is $100 million, but you don't put no money in no black people's pockets, but we're going to give $100 million to the cracker banks? Are you serious? Not an after-school job for a single child in Milwaukee, but you'll give the white man $100 billion in the name of Jesus. Any religion that tells you you got to die to go to heaven is a religion you don't need. I'll be damned if an imam, pastor, rabbi, whatever the hell y'all want to call yourself, I'll be damned if you're going to tell me I got to die to go to heaven when the white man got his right now, and the Chinese got his right now, and the Arab got his right now, and the East Indian got his right now. So what's so divine about the others that they can have heaven on earth? And I got to have mine in death. And then your pastor take all your Jesus money and put it in a white bank, and that white bank will give your black people Jesus money and write loans to white folks to come into the inner city of
Yo, Dominique, I'm telling you, bro. I heard that, like, I looked at an old video from him and it talked about him having a YT lawyer, and I was bugging because I'm like, he be talking all that shit. And he give a lot of the money that he take from the black community. He do not circulate it back in the black community. And that's another thing. He talk shit about the black churches, like you said, but he always at a black church collecting money. I remember I went to a church. My mom's is so fucking mad at me, right? We went to church on New Year. She used to always force me to go to church on New Year. I don't know why she used to be. She knew damn well once I was of age, I was going to do my own goddamn thing, right? And I mean, we went there, and it was a preacher, right? Right down the street is me, you know what I'm saying? And he telling us a story how he owed the IRS money and all this shit, right? I should have knew something was up because he had a goddamn ATM in the back of the church, man. I should have knew something was up then, right? So he tell this whole inspirational story on how he owed the IRS all this money. He had all his paperwork in line and shit, and how when he get the shit that guard cleaned his slate when he went to see the man. They couldn't find his IRS bill, right? Sound like some real shit now. Right? Then he had the collection plate, said this wonderful prayer, and then we was about to leave. He's like, everybody come up here. It's 3 baskets up here. We need you to come clean your slate and put this money in the fucking shit. I'm like, wow, like this motherfucker really trying to like
The Umar,
get us.
This is a flat out lie. How did the Asians take over the black hair care industry? You know how the Koreans took it? Because the sisters doing hair was too busy what? Competing for customer. The brothers with the barbershops were too busy what? Competing for who got the best shape up instead of consolidating. And so the Koreans came to them and said, oh, all this money, none of them working together. That's what we gonna do. We're gonna take over all the supplies. And now it's a what? Multi-billion-dollar business because black folks don't want to work together.
Up shit.
For sure. If you don't work together, you always give an opportunity for the Number one, that's a lie. In an article titled How Koreans Entered the Black Hair Care Business, it states that in
I mean, Umar just be making up shit anyway as he go.
1965, the Korean wig merchants joined together and convinced the Korean government to outlaw the export on raw hair. This means Dr. Umar's argument about it being some pathological reason why we didn't want to work together instead of policy is empirically false. The article goes on to state that this policy ban made it so that one could only buy pre-made wigs and extensions. In other words, Korean hair could only be manufactured in Korea. 6 months later, the United States government created a ban on any wig that contained hair from China, effectively putting South Korea in prime position to exploit the market, creating a monopoly. Favorable laws allowed many Korean entrepreneurs and seller wigs to prosper over the next 5 decades. In this instance, Dr. Umar is pushing research, not research, when he's forwarding these empirically false narratives. Sprinkling some context on it today, there are over 9,000 Korean-owned beauty supply stores serving $1 billion market of black hair between manufacturing, distributing, and selling their hair care products. Korean entrepreneurs appear to control all major components. To be a self-proclaimed Pan-Africanist, it sure does push a lot of black inferiority that be empirically false. According to Roland, there are only 4 central distributors serving beauty supply stores in the country, and these Korean-owned distributors discriminate against black store owners in order to maintain their monopoly in the market. I made an entire YouTube video specifically getting into the historicity and the policies that make it where Asian businesses in the black community.
It's historicity. What do you mean, history?
Community are so dominant. Here goes one more source before I get up out of here, man. In this journal right here titled Ethnically Segmented Market Korean-Owned Business Black Stores, it argues that Korean American sellers, the market main producers, maintain dominance not through structural or cultural advantages, but by collusion and exclusion. In mainstream economies, these strategies are employed by so many dominant firms that have become the staple of antitrust cases. During the 1970s, a combination of economic forces, racial structures, and shifting beauty standards initially propelled Korean-owned firms to power. Education is elevation, and check out this video if you want to learn more. Dr. Umar.
A lot, bro. I watched that that joint. What was it? Chris Rock had that joint Good Here. That shit fucking enlightened me on some stuff that I ain't know. Yeah, I'm telling you, Umar be making shit up as he go. He always, what pissed me off with Umar when he's talking about black on black crime, and he talk about we the only ones that's the number one reason, number one cause for black people dying is black on black crime, and that's fucking a lie. The number one cause is heart disease. All right. We had some technical difficulties, but we back. We back. We had some technical difficulties. One of my streams is off. I ain't gonna do the I ain't got the other one on no more. I ain't got the fucking what you call it? The horizontal view no more. We only got the vertical, but I'm back. Let's see what's wrong. My joint OBS just shut down on me, man. I think it's the man. I think Umar had them shut me down, man. Let me get it back in effect, you know. Where we at? Vertical. Hold on, did they get rid? Yeah, damn, it resetted my whole shiznick. I'm back. Let me get it. There you go. It resetted my whole this nigga. I don't know what's going on, man. But I appreciate y'all that came back. Let's get back on fucking Umar and his liner. Magnified the outreach of people to see that shit. That's what he meant to say, but he's so damn stupid. You know? He's so damn stupid. Yeah, he's saying it magnified it, but let me see. I don't want that. Umar's a clown, bro. He saying Umar's a Freemason. Let's see this. I don't know if this shit is true, but probably interesting. I want to cut this bot off. This motherfucker talking about Umar Legend. He got to go to sleep now. I'm cut him off. I ain't gonna lie. Some of these brothers be so deep, and it only makes sense to them. Cause that shit ain't make no goddamn sense to me. And how y'all found this bullshit out? But hey, what do I know? Somebody said, why is he up here preaching the sermon? But chick says she high maintenance. So I do not agree with you. He stole my shit. He stole my shit. Dominique, I cut off my damn the chat box, man. That motherfucker talk too much. What the fuck is this E5 shit, man? Somebody explain that shit to me. I can't believe this shit kicked me off, bro. We was doing. I mean, I agree with that, yo. Whatever help you be a better person, I respect it. All that other shit he be talking about, who to date and all that shit. I don't give a damn who you do and what you do. That's your business. Stop stealing. That's what got him in that predicament. He was fucking stealing. He been fucking robbing our goddamn parents in our community. That's what got Umar and Umar shit. From stealing. And from fucking not looking out for the community. That's what got Umar where Umar at, man. Nobody else got Umar there. He got himself. You know, we gotta stop acting like somebody else got Umar Johnson where he at, you know? Let's look at some more positive shit. Fuck him. He about to wrestle? Fighting the old me built the man that God need me to be. Don't get knocked out. This one the other day. Okay. Lord forgive me. I was about to say it looked like he in Africa, but he is in Africa. He's in Nigeria. I was about to say, I was like, oh, these kids look like they African. But yeah, he's in Africa. And he's so look at this shit. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, Dr. Fumar Bonson himself, right? He ain't never go over there and show us, besides him fucking dancing around looking stupid, anything that he'd even done for the African continent. But you see this young man that's younger than him, half his age, done went over to Africa. He even spreading his infectious, positive attitude over there. Let's look at that. Hey, boy, man, you up? That going 9-year-old running around and damn 1:27 in the morning. Okay. Can't hear anything? Hold on. I'm trying to fix it now. I ain't know that y'all couldn't hear it. My damn setup just stopped out of nowhere. The hell?
I want to hear you.
Can y'all hear now? If you can hear, let me know in the chat.
Release the air. Air. Look. And then when you throw power punches, rah, rah. When you do the gear 3. Come on, let's go. Good, go. Rah. There you go.
Let me know if you can hear anything right now.
1, 2. Go. Go. Turn. Good. Jab. Jab. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. Good. Stab. Head off the line. Stab. Now sting. Stab. Gang, gang. Good.
We're not fussing for no reason. We tell you to do stuff that's gonna help. If you decide you only want. Now that I got the car where I want it, you understand me? Yes, sir. I got the car where I want it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this out of here. You understand?
He teaching these kids from start to finish on how to work on their vehicles. You know? Start to finish, he's teaching them.
Tighten it up, and I'm gonna take this out. Why I'm taking this out?
Because
Use your brain and tell me why I'm taking this out.
Put your damn shirt
Even
on,
though
too.
my jack stand will save me, I still want to make sure I have every opportunity to make sure that this car does not fall on me. You understand?
Which
Yes, sir.
Or on us. You got that?
Yes, sir.
So now we about to go under the vehicle. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Get some back.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go under the vehicle and I'm gonna show you guys what a drain plug is. The drain plug is what takes all the oil out of the car. You understand?
Yes, sir.
What is the drain plug?
Take it out.
These sockets to take the freaking drain plug off. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Here we go. So all of these joints right here, look at this. All these are different size sockets, you understand?
Yes, sir.
When I figure out which one it is, I'm gonna pass the rest of them back to y'all and y'all put them back where they go, okay?
Yes, sir.
You see that number right there on the side? What that say?
17.
So where should it go down here?
It's 17.
We got common sense, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Stand by. This is my drain plug right here, you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna take this socket right here and
He say some real shit in the title of this. He said it ain't no applause in the process. Just oil stain hands, quiet lessons, and boys turning into men while the world ain't looking. This is the part that nobody never see. Donate. I can respect that, cause at least you showing me stuff to donate to. You ain't gaslighting me into donate like Sister Umar, you know? I can appreciate that. Like, and all of y'all over there, y'all want to donate to the brother, go donate to him.
I'm gonna loosen this bolt and it's gonna let all that old oil out, you understand?
Yes, sir.
What is this called right here? This little white thing right here. What's that called? Remember, it's a black one I just showed y'all outside, but this one's white.
Oil filter.
Say it again?
Oil filter.
It's an oil filter, right?
Yes, sir.
Say it again?
Oil filter.
It's an oil filter, got it?
Yes, sir.
All you gotta do is grab that with your hand and untwist it, and it'll untwist by itself, you understand?
Yes, sir.
You remember the drain plug, guys?
Yes, sir.
The drain plug is right here, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push this oil pan back because it's pressure inside of here. So when I take this off, the oil is gonna shoot back. You understand? See that?
Yes, sir.
Anyway, great workshop, quick workshop. Oil changes never take that long. Of course, it took a while just trying to show them all what to do. Other than that, it's a very quick job, and it's something they should know how to do just in case they fall on hard times or they need to make some money. They can go off.
They said programs like this reduce youth from being programs like the X for Boys reduce youth crime by providing purpose and discipline. Yeah, I always feel like you gotta give something to counter the misbehavior. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta give something. Same way if you trying to rehab somebody, you gotta give them something to fill the void.
Times or they need to make some money, they can go offer cheaper oil changes to people in the community so they don't have to go to the shops for it. So glad to be able to do this for these kids, and we're gonna continue doing these workshops. Probably for Mother's Day, we might get them all an oil change and like wash their car or something for Mother's Day. And I would love to see those kids participate with their moms and show their moms that they learn how to do something. That's what I'm happy about, and that gives kids confidence when they know how to do something with their hands, especially when they're not academically inclined or athletically inclined. They just want something to be able to show their parents just so they can be proud of them. Now that I got the car where I want it, you understand me?
Yes, sir.
I got the car where I want it. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take this out of here. So I'm gonna show everybody one time. Ready?
On everything, how to do yard work, everything.
That's all it takes. I gotta pull it all the way up, y'all.
Early enough to start working.
Yeah, all right. There you go. We got one. We got one.
We'll go live a little earlier.
Let's say this your first yard of the day. Just got to grandma's house. She say she got $50 for you. If you can take this and get rid of all the weeds she see around her garden. I don't know, that's like what? 1,000 Robux.
By like 5,000, 2,000.
Yeah, see, that's a lot. That's a lot. You know what I'm saying? 200 coins from Chuck E. Cheese. You know, whatever you want to do with it. But this is your prime button here. When you first get your hands on one of these, if it hasn't been started all day, it may be hard to start sometimes. You pull this and it don't turn on, you take you a moment. This your prime button. Your prime button, when you push it, see that?
Yes, sir.
This is real community.
What y'all notice when we pressed it, y'all see how there's some gas in there now?
Yes, sir.
What it do is it pull gas from this tank up here, bring it up to the top of the motor. So when you pull this again, it'll start up faster. A little more help.
That's real community service, you know. Me personally, I went and bought an electric weed whacker because I got tired of priming and doing it. I just hit the button, good to go. Costs way more, but I like the convenience.
Oh, there you go. You got it. That was startup. Anytime you working on one of these, do your best to get you a pair of safety goggles. You can get them for $1.
Keep that shit away from your legs.
You spend $1 on this,
legs up.
and you make it $50. What? Now you got $49 for Roblox and profit. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, sir. We're gonna take turns with the glasses. We're gonna whack us a little spot
Need your PPE.
on this hill behind y'all instructors here. And
personal
after that, y'all know how to go make the money. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, there we go. Sing a little bit.
Just same glasses they give us in the Navy, some bullshit.
All right. Go ahead. Bring it a little lower. Do another part, good.
I'm about to put my son on. He's 9 years old. They look his age and younger. I'm like, all right, we back this summer coming
I like
up.
that,
Give me
Chris.
10.
I like that. I like that. I like that. Everybody, man.
Y'all tell them thank you.
Thank you.
No problem. I see y'all soldiers soon, man. So I'm gonna show everybody one time. Ready?
That's a real role model. Getting out in the community, showing the young boy something, giving them the confidence. That's like real community, like activism. Not none of that just talking and begging shit. That's real community activism. Is actually getting out in the field and giving these kids a lifelong lessons that's gonna stick with them and shit that they could pass on to the next ones.
He say, "Hey, I need an oil change." And
Oh yeah, he teaching the young ladies too.
Look under your hood. Look at the top of the engine oil cap. It's gonna tell you what type of oil. So, hey, I need 5W20 oil. That's the type of oil I need. Got it? All right, cool. So this basically right here tells you everything about your tire. What the weight is, what the width, the length, the diameter. This is what these numbers right here mean. Okay? I ain't gonna dig all the way in. If you look inside the door jamb right here, it tells you what type of tires you need. It tells you how much tire pressure should be on the inside of your tires. It also tells you your vehicle VIN number. You say, hey, I need an oil change, and like what type of oil you need, you should learn this. Just look under your hood, look at the top of the engine oil cap. It's gonna tell you what type of.
And it's good to teach our daughters that stuff and teach our sisters that stuff because most mechanic shops try to get over on young women, on women, period. Older women, young women. So it is good to teach them stuff like that because that's a lifelong skills and they can know for themselves and know how to pop the hood and get under there and take care of some stuff. Or even if they just go to the mechanic on their own, they ain't getting like taken advantage of. They know that, hey, this is how it's supposed to be. Probably go another 10 minutes and I'm going to lay down. Appreciate everybody that tuned in and shit.
Oil, so hey, I need 5W20 oil. That's the type of oil I need. Got it? All right, cool. So this basically right here tells you everything about your tire. What the weight is, what the width, the length, the diameter. This is what these numbers right here mean, okay? I ain't gonna dig all the way in. If you look inside the door jamb right here, it tells you what type of tires you need. It tells you how much tire pressure should be on the inside of your tires. It also tells you your vehicle VIN number. You say, hey, I need an oil change, and like what type of oil you need, you should learn this. Just look under your hood, look at the top of the engine oil cap. It's gonna tell you here. It's gonna tell you what kind of oil your vehicle uses. You understand?
You
See right here. If you wash dishes and sweep at mommy house, why you don't wash dishes and sweep at my house?
I don't really do it at mommy house. I'm just doing it today.
Oh, you just doing it today?
Well, I'm glad that you're deciding to do that because your mommy might need help sometime.
It's him and his son playing catch and him just having a real conversation with him, you know? And he's right here trying to have a real conversation with him because his son, he said, feel like he's deserved a trophy because he did his chores.
Oh, you remember that when I came up there, you told me you wanted a basketball goal? You got a basketball goal at home? Do you want one? All right, bet. What it is right there?
My basketball hoop.
Yup. You want him to put the net on there real quick? Come on. So I know you're a good kid because I paid some attention to you, but I'm gonna make sure you stay a good kid, okay? All right. So what I said I need you to do for the keep the basketball goal.
Go to school and
Put your hand out your head. Put your hand down.
go to school and do my work
Mm-hmm.
and pay attention in class.
Mm-hmm.
Don't listen to what people say about you.
Yep, that's exactly what I said. Don't listen to what people say about you.
Keep up my grades.
Keep up your grades, yep. And if I find out your grades going down, I'm gonna call Mr. Sibley and I'm gonna say, hey, how he doing at school? And he tell me your grades went down or something, I'm gonna pick the basketball go back up till you fix it, okay? So we earn everything we get, all right? Usually in this day, like when you trying to be a good child and stuff like that, most people, you don't get praised for it or nobody ever like just sees you. It's always the bad kids that get all the attention. It's always the kids who, you know, are in trouble, etc. When you just trying to be a good kid and making good grades or whatever, it's like you don't never get praised for it. Nobody ever sees you. You always got to do something bad to get some attention. And so anytime I see good kids moving around, if they say they want something, if I feel like they need something, if their families need a little assistance or whatever like that, man, I just do it, no matter what. And I do stuff like this all the time. You know, this is one of the times I decided to post. But man, it's countless people, especially in the city of Albany, that'll let you know like little stories about me like this, where I help make things happen for kids. Even adults too, but I just enjoy doing this and making people smile because people need to know that somebody, especially from our hometown, still cares. When leadership isn't stepping in, when teachers may not step in, when other people may not step in, you got a regular person right here from the city of Albany that truly cares. Colleen.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, you remember when I came up there, you told me you wanted a basketball? If your kids wrote a letter describing you as a father, what would it say? That's a very important question because that's exactly how I live. I try to critique myself every single day as a father, etc. Because if my sons were to think of me as their dad when they become 35, 36, what would they say about me as a father? So I critique everything I do. I apologize when I make mistakes with them, etc., etc. I try my hardest to be, you know, not necessarily always tough, but also loving and etc. But I want to know from other fathers, what exactly do you think your children would say about you as a father if they wrote you a letter?
That's one thing I say though. If my kids was to write me a letter, I take care of them. I do good. I ain't gonna lie. I'm also got to be the bad guy too, because I'm, you know, the discipline and shit. But we even kill, you know what I mean? Me and their mother, you know, certain shit. If I know I'm upset, I don't even discipline them at that time till I'm calm. And then some shit I gotta walk out the room because some shit I just think it's funny. Like I gotta grow up when some shit when their mother's mad. I just look at her like, you know, we a good team when it comes to them. You know? My daughter, my baby. So a lot of time when she fucking up, I just let her moms handle that. I tell her like, son, you on a tiny, man. I make sure that, you know. But he a good kid, so I don't really have to do much or nothing. My kids are really low maintenance, man. I don't never have no real problems out of them. Tell the truth, thank God. Yeah. I'm the better parent though, as far as like likable. I'm cooler. Cool. Hey, mama might not believe that I'm cooler, but I'm cooler than them. She know I'm cool. She wish she could be as cool as. But yo, told y'all I was gonna be 4 minutes to go. We're gonna do another 4 minutes. Let's see what else we gonna look at, man. I'm gonna do another 4 minutes. We done looked at his page. School salad. What the catch the whole interview? Oh, he talking about it?
No one says to be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just gonna change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So so define do for self.
When I say do for self, you shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours, but you shared one of my tweets when I said black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay, for example, here in Albany, Georgia, we complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're going to go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's going to change in our community.
So you went into... No one says to be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys.
Roland Martin, are you working with us or against us? Because if not, just let us know. You know something that I peeped that whole time between you talking to that young man is that you know that he has something that's for his community that he's doing right. You know what I found was so freaking interesting? That while you asked these questions and he was a guest on your show, his name did not appear anywhere on the television, right? Then on top of that, you know that he has this program that he's probably funding out of community funds, right? But at the bottom of the screen, in the red teleprompter, all you see is ways to donate to Roland Martin, how to send Venmos to Roland Martin, how to send Cash Apps to Roland Martin. But I don't understand. Then you have to really dig on social media to even figure him out, that you couldn't even have a tag. We know who you are when you're up there because your name is there, but you couldn't have it for your guests. And the whole time, the young man then told you what he was doing and what he was trying to get done. And instead of being about the mission of what he needed to accomplish, you try to flip the script and try to make it seem like he was against something that has nothing to do with his cause. I tell y'all every single day to start paying attention to propaganda. Roland Martin, are you working with us or against us? Because if not, just let us know. You know something that I peeped that whole time between you talking to that young man is that you know that he has something that's for his community that he's doing right. You know what I found was so freaking interesting? That while you asked these questions and he was a guest on your show, his name did not appear anywhere on the television, right? Then on top of that, you know that he has this program that he's probably funding out of community funds, right? But at the bottom of the screen, in the red teleprompter, all you see is ways to donate to Roland Martin, how to send Venmos to Roland Martin, how to send Cash Apps to Roland Martin. But I don't understand. Then you have to really dig on social media to even figure him out, that you couldn't even have a tag. We know who you are when you're up there because your name is there, but you couldn't have it for your guests. And the whole time, the young man then told you what he was doing and what he was trying to get done. And instead of being about the mission of what he needed to accomplish, you try to flip the script and try to make it seem like he was against something that has nothing to do with his cause. I tell y'all every single day to start paying attention to propaganda. Roland Martin, are you?
This is a Black History Month takeover. Let's have a...
Bruh, is Roland Martin okay? If y'all remember a few years ago when he and King Randall, who's from Albany, Georgia, they got into a discussion on this show, and King Randall, he was known as a young black Republican, but he was saying he wanted to build a school for children. He wanted to become self-sufficient, and he wasn't worried about or waiting on the government to do anything for him when he can get out here and help his people himself. And Roland Martin was just telling him that he's too optimistic. He's aiming too high. And what he's doing is ridiculous, and all this other nonsense. It was nonsense then, a couple years ago, but ever since then, King Randall has opened the school. He does run programs in his hometown for young men. He coaches up his son's baseball team. He's done so much for his community. And also, just recently, due to Trump's administration, whatever they're doing with Job Corps, King Randall posted a video saying that it's not due to his state and local government of why Job Corps is shutting down, but now's the time to band together with state and local government to do.
I ain't gonna lie, that is the perfect time. Go ahead, grab up that property, grab up if you can with government funding, if possibly, because you pay taxes. Everybody pay taxes. To use that to educate and to promote our children, black, white, or in between, and the infrastructure's already there. Maybe you can approve upon that, but the infrastructure's already there, the kids is already there, the school is already there, and Job Corps is fucking. It wasn't the greatest thing in the world, but it did save a lot of people too. But it also was an in-between grounds for people to fucking just fall victim.
Something about it. So if the Job Corps isn't going to be around, let's find more programs to help our young adults or our young children. Let's band together and figure out ways to get them working, to get them more educated, whether it be education directly or in trade school. He was just saying now it's time to hunker down, band together, and really figure things out. Roland Martin saw that and said, why didn't you mention President Donald Trump by name in the video? He didn't acknowledge that young man is doing things in his neighborhood and in his community. He didn't acknowledge that he's willing to do the work. He didn't acknowledge that yet local and state governments do still exist that can make more of an impact in their community than the federal government. And if the federal government is going to make this decision, what do you want them to do? Just lay over and cry? It was, again, one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Somebody is taking, not accountability, but they're taking life by their own hands and saying that we need to band together as a community. And you just say, you didn't say Trump's name. You didn't blame Trump. That wasn't his point. I don't even know if King Randall likes Trump. I don't care. What we do know is King Randall loves his people and loves his community. I respect my elders, but I honestly don't know what Roland Martin was thinking with making that response video on his platform. I just don't know what he was thinking.
I have respect for elders. I don't respect all of them because I feel a young fool grows into be an old fool if they don't make no changes. And some people be willfully ignorant, and some people, they're not even ignorant. They be willfully trying to lead us off a cliff because they getting paid in the process. And that's what Roland Martin is doing. He's getting paid in the process, so he don't care about leading the rest of the community astray at all.
All right. Well, everybody who just came in, I'm speaking.
Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay, so when you say you guys' fight, first of all, there are multiple fights, there are multiple issues we could be concerned about. Voting is one of those issues. Are you not concerned that Republicans in your state are trying to restrict access to the ballot for no reason other than they are pushing the lie that Donald Trump also pushed?
Right, absolutely. I understand exactly what you're saying. However, again, that's not my fight. I believe.
No. I asked you a question. Ask you a question. And the question is this here. Do you believe Republicans in your state are wrong to be pushing this voter suppression bill?
Can you give me the list of things that's all on the bill? Because I know you said the voter ID.
Well, no. Here's a perfect example. This particular bill right here gets rid of no excuse absentee balloting. Republicans in Georgia passed no excuse absentee balloting 15 years ago, thinking it was going to help them. They're angry because you had people who voted for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and also John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock won. So they're changing the law because they're angry they lost at the ballot box. But for 14 years, it was fine until last year. Is that?
Hold on for a second, because I need to figure out some things. Okay. Yes. Because I want to figure out something to figure. I'm going to let that play while I figure this
Again, do you consider that to be egregious on the part of Georgia Republicans? Why would they change the law because they lost? How about making a better argument for the voters?
I agree with you. I do. I agree with you. I'm not against you there. I definitely think that is an issue that I believe you guys could fight. But that, again, voting is not my issue to fight. I believe.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting.
I feel him on that. He's trying to force his agenda on that young man, and you can't get mad that that young man don't see life the way you see life. Maybe he see it that you older folks felt the younger generation, and that's why he getting out there with boots on the ground instead of sitting there crying, worrying about what the fuck Trump or Biden or any other public official, when neither none of them care about us. But Roland Martin get paid by them, so that's his agenda to push because he's literally getting paid by them.
It's gonna be the be all end all.
No one
like
says the be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just gonna change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
So okay, so define do for self.
When I say,
hey, Little Mo, I got a question for you.
Hey there, absolutely. I'm all ears. Just let me know what's on your mind.
All right, so here go my question.
Gotcha.
How old is Roland Martin, and how old is King Randall?
So as of right now, Roland Martin is about 57 years old and King Randall is around 26.
So you mean to tell me that Roland Martin is arguing, going back and forth with somebody that he is more than double the age? Or am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping at all. You got it right. Roland Martin is definitely more than twice King Randall's age. So yeah, it's a bit of a generational gap in that debate. But hey, sometimes those conversations happen across generations, and I guess that's part of what makes it interesting.
Yeah, that's understandable to a certain extent, ChatGPT. But how is he trying to hold him more accountable than he's trying to hold the Democratic Party?
I get where you're coming from. It definitely can seem like a tough look when someone is putting more heat on a younger individual than on a big institution or party. I think sometimes that's just how these debates play out. People focus in on individuals they think they can influence more directly. But yeah, for your perspective, I totally understand why that feels a bit off balance. It's a fair point to raise.
I got another question for you. Can you break down the main issue that Roland Martin had in his debate with King Randall?
Absolutely. I can break that down for you. So the main issue that came up in the debate between Roland Martin and King Randall was basically about accountability and transparency in education. Roland Martin was really pressing King Randall on how he was running his school, the X for Boys, and he was basically asking for more details about the curriculum, the accreditation, and how everything was structured. In other words, Roland was kind of challenging whether King Randall had all the formalities and the official stuff in place for his school. On the flip side, King Randall was basically saying, look, I'm here doing the work on the ground, and I'm helping these kids directly. And he felt like he didn't need to meet all the traditional standards right away to be effective. So the debate was really around that tension, formal accountability versus grassroots action, and that's where they kind of butted heads. So that's the core of what Roland Martin was pushing on in that debate.
All right, my other question is, how much did Roland Martin get paid by the Democratic Party the last presidential election?
That's an interesting question. And as far as I know, there isn't any public information or solid evidence that Roland Martin was directly paid by the Democratic Party during the last presidential election. He's a journalist and commentator, and while he definitely has his own political views and has supported certain candidates or causes, there's no official record that he was on their payroll or anything like that. So basically, unless there's some hidden info out there, it doesn't look like he got paid by the Democratic Party. He was just doing his thing as a media personality.
Well, how much did he get paid by Kamala when she showed up on his show? Because it's expense reports out there. So can you tell me how much was he paid by her when he came on her show? And how much did she pay other people like Beyonce and them to speak at her events?
So from what's publicly available, there's no verified info that Kamala Harris or her campaign paid Roland Martin to appear on his show. Usually, political interviews like that are just part of the media circuit, and guests don't pay or get paid. It's more about the candidate getting exposure and the show getting a notable guest. After what Kamala Harris might have paid celebrities like Beyonce to speak at her events, there's no solid evidence or official figures out there either. Typically, when big names appear at campaign events, it's often because they're supporting the candidate rather than being paid large sums. So, in short, there's really no public info that she was paying Roland or that there was any kind of big payment to celebrities for that kind of appearance. It's more about mutual support and media exposure.
How much in the negative was her campaign after the election?
So after the election, Kamala Harris's campaign ended up with over $20 million in debt, which the Democratic National Committee took on. Even though they raised a lot of money, they still had those leftover expenses, including things like big event costs. So, yeah, they were in the red by about $20 million afterward.
So could you say if they was in the red by $20 million because of events that she had to pay for these people to come perform at these events?
Well, not exactly. The campaign debt of around $20 million wasn't specifically because they had to pay big amounts to performers or celebrities. Campaign debt usually comes from a whole range of costs, things like staffing, travel, advertising, venue rentals, and just the general logistics of running a big national campaign. So while it's possible that there were some event-related costs in there, it's not really about paying performers. It's more about the overall expense of campaigning adding up. In other words, the debt wasn't really tied to paying people like Beyonce. It's just the typical cost of a big campaign.
How much did Beyonce get paid?
As far as public information goes, there's no indication that Beyonce was paid by Kamala Harris's campaign. Usually when celebrities appear at political events, it's because they support the candidate and want to lend their influence rather than for a paycheck. So there's no public record of her receiving any money from the campaign. It's pretty common for big names to show up just to show support and not as a paid gig.
How much did President Trump have left over after the campaign?
So after the 2020 campaign, President Trump's campaign had about $18.4 million left over. A lot of that money ended up being moved into his leadership PAC called Save America, which he's used for other expenses like legal fees since then. So they did have some cash on hand after the race.
What about in the 2024 election? How much was left over?
Sure. So after the 2024 election, Trump's campaign had around $9.8 million left over. They mostly funneled that money into his PAC called Save America for future political stuff. That PAC has also been covering a lot of legal expenses. So that's basically where the leftover funds ended up.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. I'll ask you some more questions later.
You're always welcome, Uncle Mo. Anytime you got more questions, just swing by and we'll dig into it.
As y'all can see, that was me having a little conversation with ChatGPT, taking it from there to see. Let's finish hearing Roland Martin talk crazy.
Do for self. You shared one of my tweets, my videos, and I was actually a big fan of yours. But you shared one of my tweets when I said Black people need to stop begging the government and go and do for self out in our communities. You shared the video and called me an idiot. I didn't see anything idiotic about that statement at all.
So when you say do for self, like what? Explain that.
Okay. For example,
I'm trying so hard to lean one way. Let's start off. I don't give a fuck about Democrats or Republicans, so I'm not trying to lean either way because I don't care about neither one. Personally, I think they both are corrupt. So, and it had came out that Roland Martin was paid by Kamala Harris and that campaign. That's why she was in the negative. She paid Beyonce to come out there and speak. Nobody went out there and spoke because they believed in her. Like, that's just common knowledge, you know? Let's finish hearing them out, and I'll pull
Here in
that shit
Albany,
up to
Georgia, we
show you.
complain about our school systems a lot. Many of our young men can't read. They have very horrible literacy rates. We don't have any rehab programs here for juvenile offenders. What I decided to do, I started a program 2 years ago, decided to do for self, and I started taking children into my home. I started taking custody of kids from juvenile court, and I started molding them and training them and teaching them skilled trades, etc. Now I'm 21 years old. I just purchased a school here in Albany, Georgia, to combat us being in the government-funded schools that are not teaching our children what they need to learn. So that's what I mean by do for self, simply getting up and going out and do it.
So
I beat the stereotype that I'm young, black, and in America, and I can't do anything because somebody's holding me down. Absolutely not.
So a question.
Teenagers went and go ahead. Me and some teenagers went and bought a school, and we just bought a school bus simply from going out and doing work. We decided to go fix our own communities. I'm not expecting anything from no politician. I'm not expecting nothing from Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or nobody. We're gonna go do it for ourselves, and that's what I believe we need to be doing. I can vote, sure, but nothing's gonna change in our community.
So you went to the juvenile court system. Is that not government?
Absolutely.
So when you say purchased a school, and this school is going to be what? Private school, charter school? What kind of school is it going to be?
No, it will be independently owned. This will not be funded by the government.
No, that's why I asked you. So it's going to be a private school?
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be a boarding school.
Let's real quick. Let me see. Real fast. Because you said I'm trying so fucking hard. Let's just pull up the evidence real quick. Kamala Harris interview received massive donation ahead of sit-down report. I'm trying so hard, so let's just read it. This is from the New York Post. November 19, 2024, a year ago, right? Vice President Kamala Harris' campaign reportedly gave large amounts of money to organizations ran by media figures in the weeks before sitting down with interviews with them. Let's get to the Roland Martin one, right? He paid NSNBC. That's one of the places. I don't know if y'all could see it on there. Probably like small, but yep, she played NSNBC. Al Sharpton, you know, he's fucking one of the biggest scammers of the fucking black community. Make this whole big as possible. I should be able to see that, right? I think that's Al Sharpton was the only media ally that received a payment from the campaign to his organization ahead of the sit-down interview. The New York Times, even though this is New York Post, they revealed the campaign gave $350,000 payment to New Vision Media on September 9th, according to the FEC filing report for the New York Times. New Vision Media is a media company ran by journalism. Roland Martin. Can y'all see that? Is it clear? Is it on the goddamn Summer Jam scene? Let me see. I want y'all to be able to see this shit because, you know, dude said I'm trying so hard to build a narrative. Right? New Vision Media is a media company ran by journalism Roland Martin. Martin spent roughly 30 minutes interviewing Harris on his stream program in October. The campaign also gave $350,000 payment. $350,000 payment to New Vision Media on September 9th, of 2024 in accordance with the FEC Fallon report. By the Times, New Vision Media is a company ran by Roland Martin. New Vision Media company is ran by journalism Roland Martin. Roland spent 30 minutes interviewing Kamala Harris. So how am I trying so hard to paint a picture when the picture was painted, stroked, and orchestrated by Roland Martin and by Kamala? She paid Oprah too. The former CNN contributor told the Times that the payment was for advertising. You see his fat ass right there? Fat balding ass? You see that? He said that she gave him that just for advertisement to be on the show. You know, she cared about him so much, she gave him $350,000 for advertisement. That's it. Little advertisement. She was advertising her campaign. You know? What else she spent for, right? He said it should have been a hell of a lot more, according to the reports. More should have been spent on black-owned media. He wanted more of the motherfucking pie. You dig? He dig? He wanted more of the pie. He didn't want just that. He wanted more of the pie. Did y'all see my daggone handsome face? He wanted more of the pie. So when you say, let's put it back up on that Summer Jam screen. Wait. I need to move that joint up. Let's move this up. You can see that I'm trying. I am trying so hard to lean in one way. What way am I leaning towards? The truth? Because as you can see, Roland Martin owns that media company, New Vision Media. And not only did she pay $350,000, he says she should have paid a hell of a lot more. You dig? Let's hold on. Put it like this. We can get a good view, because you tripping to think that New Vision Media don't deserve they just do fucking respect, that they beat the fuck out of the system and got that money, which I ain't knocking them. Fuck it. Get paid. But don't sit here and pretend like you really for the community. That's my thing. He ain't believe in her. He just believe in his grift. And y'all fall for it. You know what I mean? So when you say that I'm going one way, that's because it was already put out there. You dig? And as you can see, it was put out there that she paid him $350,000. And they saying that her campaign gave $5.4 million to Black and Latino advocacy group in an effort to get more voters to her. She gave Oprah Winfrey $500,000 to the Hoppo production. So all they did was funnel the money through these programs instead of making a direct payment to these people. You dig? They just funneled it to their fucking companies and they LLCs and they, S corps and all that shit, you know? She gave Oprah $500,000. The full price of the event with Oprah was close to, hold on. The campaign also made two $500,000 payments to Oprah Winfrey's Hoppo production a month after Oprah town hall with Harris and a week before the pair Look, she was getting that money up. Then look. The full price of the event with Oprah was $2.5 million. That's why Roland mad, because Oprah got her for $2.5 million. He couldn't even get her for $500,000. He got for $350,000. That's good though. You know, she could have came on Uncle Mo for a good 100,000. Could have been on Oprah, you know, on Uncle Mo TV. 100,000. I would have took it. Fuck it. And she ain't even put up a request when they question her on this. So do not say that we're trying so hard to paint an agenda when the proof is out there.
A boarding school. And then for the folks to be able to afford to send their kids to the boarding school, what kind of mechanisms are they using in Georgia? Their own funds? Are they using school vouchers? What are they using?
I can't hear you. Say that again for me.
I said, what mechanism are they using to send their kids there to pay for the school? Their own money, or are they utilizing vouchers from the Georgia government?
Absolutely. So for our school, we're financed completely by donors. We have many donors that have given yearly endowments to our school that will be able to pay for these students to come to our school for free. Many people believe in our mission, and we're making sure that young black men, where we live, where we don't have any rehab programs for juvenile offenders to even get out of jail and stay out of jail, we have people that believe in our mission that are trying to send children to the Extra Boys for free. We have many people that are trying to send kids to this boarding school to be able to take care of themselves. That's what I mean by doing for self. We got to simply get up and do it.
So you don't believe that government policymakers play any role whatsoever in being able to impact the lives of black boys and others in Georgia?
If we take them out of that government system, we don't have to worry about that. I keep saying.
How is that? So no, hold on. So here's the question. Hold up. Here's the question. How do you remove someone out of a government system when we all live in government systems?
Yes, sir. I vote. Absolutely.
Okay. So when you say you guys
we have to get out and go do for. We have to get out and go.
Like what? All right, y'all. So. I was on Instagram a little bit earlier, and I came across this video. And then I watched this video, and I said, I know I am not seeing what I'm seeing. So I need you to play the video I saw on Instagram. I need you to, y'all don't have the video? I sent you the link to, okay, all right, let me play the video myself. Because y'all, I saw this video, when I say I was hot, when I saw it, I said, I can't believe what I'm seeing. This nonsense that I'm seeing from this person right here, posting on Instagram. And I'm like, I know that is not who I think it is, posting what he just posted. And then I looked at it and I said, oh, that is him. I can't believe he posted that video. So let me go ahead and show y'all this, because I want y'all gonna trip. Y'all gonna trip. Watch this video.
We ain't gonna trip your fat fucking money grubbing ass. We tripping that you bashing a young brother that did his damn thing and that's trying to do his thing for the community when you got $350,000 from the campaign and you ain't donate not $350 towards the community.
Is closing here in the city of Albany, and that leaves us with a little over 500 students that were here on this campus, and 19% of those students are labeled as homeless. We have a little over 250 jobs that'll be leaving the city of Albany. And while this is not the city of Albany government's fault, this is a time for our local and state leadership to step up, because we'd be stupid to act powerless in this situation. Because while this school is still here, while this building is still here, while this campus is still here, what could this become? Could this become a Southwest Georgia regional hub for trade skills training? Could this become something major that the city brings on to start training workforce? Because if we're training workforce, then we can invite industry to come here. But if we don't have any workforce for industry, they'll never come. But if Doherty County School System could train workforce in adults, why can't the city of Albany do the same thing? So my question to leadership is, are we going to allow this opportunity now to pass us by? Or are we going to lead? Are our leaders going to lead? And if they don't want to lead, they need to step aside and let somebody else do it.
What did he say wrong? Are y'all going to step to the plate and lead, or you going to step aside and let somebody else do it? You going to shit or get off the pot? I don't see what was wrong with that.
Oh, he said that if our leaders are not going to lead, they should step aside and let somebody else do it. That's interesting. Now, when I saw it, I remember when he came on this show after he was going at me on Twitter when he was supporting the Republicans in Georgia voter suppression bill, and he was talking shit with another black conservative. Then they say, well,
and was he supporting it? Because we seen the video. Or was he saying that politics ain't his thing, that he's not dependent on politicians to save him? See? Gaslighting, you fat motherfucker.
He ain't gonna never put us on the show, and I invited his ass on the show. Then he tried to change his tune when he came on the show. Roll it. Joining us right now is King Randall, founder of the X for Boys organization based out of Georgia. So, King, explain why in the world you're conservative, correct?
Yes, sir.
So please explain to me why this bill, why Republicans are pushing for a voter suppression bill when last year. All right, y'all. So I was on Instagram a little bit earlier and I came across this video. All right, folks, I'm getting ready to do Roland Martin Unfiltered.
Again, voting is not my issue to fight. I believe.
So
see what he said? Voting wasn't his issue to fight. He don't even believe in that. He believe in doing for self.
So what's your issue to fight?
My issue, I fight for young black men before they die. And that's what I do in my organization. I do teach them to vote, but I don't tell them that voting is going to be the be all end all.
No one says the be all the end all, but it's a part of it.
But you guys promote voting like it's just going to change like the systemic outlook of the black community. That's not where it's at. We have to get out and go do for self in our own communities.
I agree with him. Listen, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Yeah, Uncle Mo TV. We appreciate everybody. We appreciate the likes. We appreciate dislike. We appreciate the haters, man. You know, it's like what 50 said, it's like fire to air. You need both of them to exist. So, you know, I appreciate everybody that tuned in. Thank you for hitting that like button. I gotta go to bed because I actually got a job to get to. I wish this was my job, but I got a real job. I gotta pay my mortgage, pay my car note, pay my light bill, you know, all the good stuff. But I appreciate everybody. I will not lie. Shout out to the homie that donated to the channel. I appreciate you. And you too. Anybody then I'd like to join the membership. I'm about to start doing members only lives and members only videos where I could be raw and uncut and really talk my talk. Shout out to my FBA. Shout out to my Tevers. Shout out to everybody because we don't preach hate over here. And until next time, peace. Matter of fact, nah, I need 2 more views, bro. 2 more views and I'll be good, yo. Give me 2 more views. I'm at 12,000. Give me at 12.1.
Preachers.
I think I could do that.
When I say, I'm not talking about Christian preachers. Two messages are being preached.
I ain't gonna lie. Oh boy, he doing this fucking interview is a clown.
Not my issue to fight. I believe.
Let's get into the realness. We got a lot of moms also that have fathers that do want to be dads, but they're so vindictive and bitter with the dad that they'd rather their son fail than have the father in a child's life.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious. I've had conversations with moms. I'm like, where the daddy at? I'll make contact with the dad. Dad say, you know, I live in North Carolina or I live in this city, but she never wanted me. They done moved on, got kids of their own.
Whoa. We gonna end it on that because that's too deep, right? But we could pick that back up tomorrow. And like I said, everybody have a blessed night. Appreciate y'all that kick in. Listen, let's just do better tomorrow than we did today. And until next time, stay blessed and peace.